you don't have one of these, you can rotate your cutting mat that you're working on, you know, your ordinary cutting mat. It doesn't matter. Because you're using your ruler, you haven't got to worry about matching it up with the lines on your mat, so you can twist your mat round.
Exactly. Jojo, thank you for your message. It's been sorted now. If you want to make a complaint, it was Timothy's fault.
And so we're going to rotate it again. So we've got that cut into three.
Yes.
We're going to rotate it again.
And do exactly the same thing again.
And do exactly the same thing.
But the thing is, you set off by saying, you know, there's only so many things you can do with triangles and squares, but it's fascinating how many things you can actually do with triangles and squares, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you are literally limited by your imagination.
Yes.
There are just so many combinations. You can go on forever.
Yes.
So it's good to just take that little bit of time at this point just to make sure that you are square.
Yes.
Because that helps when you come to sew it back together.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's...
So you've turned it into 9 squares, even squares.
Yes. Now, all things being right and, you know, it not being Monday morning, they'll all be 3.5-inch squares. Right. I'm not going to use them because they may not be.
Oh, but don't be saying that. Have a bit of confidence in yourself, girl.
That's what you're aiming for. But because they've all come from the same block, if they're not quite, they'll all go back together, so it's not the end of the world.
Right, OK.
So if I turn that way round, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to turn the corner squares 90 degrees.
Oh, yes.
And that makes the pattern. So we're going to sew them back together in rows and then sew the rows together.
So are the finished squares 3.5 or they're 3.5?
The cut squares are 3.5. It will be they'll be finished at 3,
right,
which will make it a 9-inch block.
Oh, of course, yes, of course it will. Duh. Right, go on then.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Now, do you do yours in any order when you sew these together? Is there any particular order you have to go to?
No, I just sew the rows together. I tend to always work towards the middle.
Right.
And I suppose because I'm right-handed, I work from right to left.
Yeah. And are there any tricky bits that you've got to watch out for?
You can just be careful of your points here. If you want to take off the ears of your squares, you can do it with a ruler to be more accurate, or just take those off so that they're not in the way when you're...
Make sure you put it the right way back.
When you come in to piece it. Again, I tend not to bother because I quite like... this. You can see this isn't quite accurate, but I quite like having the ear because it's also a 1/4 inch mark.
Oh, yes, of course.
So it's something to aim... You know, if you haven't got a 1/4 inch on your machine, it's something to aim towards to give you a 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to chain piece these 3 pieces together.
Oh, that was my next question.
You can just
what?
Just whiz those underneath. And if you keep them in the rows, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just watching. Oh, sorry, I'm just to redo my earpiece.
So if we press it...
Oh, what? Go on.
If we press it towards the middle... well, I can do it.
No,
I don't mind
it while you're sewing.
Well, I'm going to need to sew onto it anyway, but I like to do it as I go, so... So I'm going to press that one towards the middle. I'm going to press the middle one towards the outside. So towards the plain square, I suppose we could say. If you press towards the plain square.
Okay.
A little tip on this one.
Tip, go on.
A tip for this one. Yeah. If you keep the one that you want the seam to go underneath, if you have that on the top, you'll always get your seam going the way you want it to do.
Okay.
So those are those three, and I'm going to add those onto the little do-si-do again.
Okay. Paul says, thank you for your images. We'll show some in a second, and I'll show you the bundles in 5 minutes' time. Oh, you got some now while we're stitching that? Let's have a look at some pictures now, then. Oh, I know who that one is.
Oh, look at that Bargello. That's beautiful.
Leslie's is on the left. Shelley is in the middle. Yeah, that's not Shelley. That's Shelley's dog. Do you know who that one is on the right, don't you? That's Joe's mum. That's Helen the librarian. And that's one of her first full-size quilts. Isn't it brilliant, though? She's only just started quilting. They're all brilliant. They're all brilliant. They're all brilliant. Thank you. You're just a bit echoey, really echoey, that's all.
I'm going to press those again.
I might as well not be here. I might as well Shall I just stay over here like this?
No, don't just say that.
Yes, I'll hide behind the graphics. Jane's take on an origami boat. You called it a paper boat, didn't you?
Yeah, paper boats.
So now, out of the fabric that we sent you...
Yes.
So 1/2 metre of the red, 1 of the middle, the cream or the white, and 2 metres of the blue.
Yes.
You made the whole of the front of this, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had lots of red and left over and quite a bit of the cream, but I did use all of the blue.
Yes.
So because I've pressed these seams in the opposite directions, I can now, when I'm going to join these rows together...
Yeah.
I can nest the seams
Yes.
together, so that sort of helps with your piecing and keeping it.
Yeah, yeah. That wouldn't come off, that one. I was just thinking about Jay, you know, our Jay, floor person Jay. He's on his holidays.
Oh,
and he put a picture of him and Danny, his girlfriend, on... was it Facebook or Instagram or something, saying, can we have... is it allowed to have this much fun or something like that? I think they're having a lovely time.
Oh, that's lovely. Where have they gone?
They've gone to, not Fuengirola. Is it Lanzarote? I can't remember. It's somewhere like that, though, isn't it? Ayanapa? No, that's where you go dancing, isn't it, Ayanapa? Oh, where is it now? Have a look at his Instagram, would you? And he'll be able to tell you on there.
Somewhere lovely and warm.
Yes, that's what he said. It's too hot. They were going for a walk.
I've not matched that up.
Oh, no, Jay.
Disaster.
So, no, okay, let's take this. Why has that happened, then?
Probably because I didn't match when I was putting my 2 squares together originally,
yes.
I didn't make sure that they were right on top of each other.
So that's what you need to do if you want it to match perfectly. I quite like it that they don't. You see, I have this thing that things shouldn't be spot on perfect. Paul says life's not perfect, is it?
Well, at the end of the day, when that's in a quilt,
yes,
on the wall,
yes,
and it's quilted, and you know this could be a child's playmat, so
yes, it's one that you put the baby down on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not for a competition.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm quite happy with it. I wouldn't unpick that.
Yeah. All right then. So have you pressed it now?
I'm going to press it.
Right.
I will press it.
Okay.
We don't need to, but that's the block.
No, because that is a good point for me to leave you here and go through the fabrics before we go on to the next stage.
Okay.
Is that all right with you?
Yes, that's fine with me.
We love the random red one. Actually, so we have to discuss that, don't we? Because that's different again, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, okay, let me go over and do the fabrics and I'll come straight back. I promise. So, the one that Jane is making is this one, the spot-on one. You get 1/2 metre of the red spot, 1 metre of the white, and 2 metres of the blue, and the thread. Now, this is enough to make the whole of the front of the quilt. £32.95. The one that Jane's already made, which is the linear one, which is 1/2 metre of true red, 1 metre of vanilla, and 2 metres of Riviera blue, plus the thread. £36.45. That's the linear boats bundle. We're loving the Riviera blue. Now, if you're traditionalist, red, white and blue in the spectrum solids, 1/2 metre of the red, 1 metre of the white, 2 metres of the blue. Red, white and blue is very patriotic because it's also very French. Isn't there another flag that's red, white and blue as well? No, not. I don't mean, I know America is, but you have to make stars and everything like that for do. No, Brazil's not red, white and blue. That's no green. The what? It's Danish red, white and blue as well. I don't know. Puerto Rico apparently is red, white and blue. And you get the thread as well. 23. I'll be quiet now because they're all... Yes. Now... Oh, sorry, Dane what? Red and white Denmark. There's no blue in it, apparently.
Maybe it's the Norwegian one. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking...
Oh, I should know the Norwegian one, shouldn't I, really? Anyway. The which one? Yeah, red, white, and blue is Norway. Great new countries. So this is the one that's slightly off-piste. You get 1/2 metre of the pink, 1 metre of the cream, and 2 metres of the azure plus the thread. Azure. Look at that price. That's fantastic. $23.95. Right now, I'll just show you this book very quickly. Jane's pattern hasn't come from the book, but this book is brilliant because it's all things quilting. All things quilting. So, now, for the fabric you're getting, you could... this hasn't got patterns in it. This has got techniques of what you need to make. So, like, you know how we always go, oh, there's binding, there's sashing, there's colour. The book is all about all different... it's not a pattern of how to make... It's all different techniques and that you need for quilting. You see what I mean? Like the hexes. Then there's all sorts of... All about your rotary cutter there. All about triangles. It's a brilliant techniques book. See what I mean? Flying geese. It's got everything you need to know. I mean, they're beautiful, aren't they? And it's got pictures of finished quilts in there, but it hasn't got the actual quilt patterns at the beginning. It's got all the techniques, all the applique techniques. Then how to put your quilt all together. So it shows you a fan, design, but it hasn't, you know what I mean? It gives you the inspiration. It's an inspirational, aspirational book, this one. How to put blocks together and how to lay out and things like that. It's brilliant. It's such a fantastic book, this one. £19.95. Right, OK, so what are you going to show us now, then?
So I'm going to show you how to do the red. So you've got the red...
You want a singular red one, don't you?
Well, it's still that block.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
OK.
But you've got 1/2 white and 1/2 red.
Right.
So I've done a bit of prep on this one.
OK.
It's still the same size square.
Yes.
So you've got a red one at 11 1/4 and a blue one at 11 1/4.
Oh, OK.
And you've got the white the same. So you're gonna cut. So draw the diagonal.
And sew, like you did before.
And sew either side, and then cut through the diagonal.
So you've already done the blue and white one. Oh, you've sewn that one? Oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah, they're both.
I was going to offer to sew it for you then, but it's done.
Thank you. Would you press that for me, please?
And which way do you want the thing to go this way?
To the blue, so both of them on the blue. The thing about this block as well is you get 2 blocks in every time. So it's a quick...
Oh, so you're going to get 2 red boats?
Yes. So you could make
even though you only need 1?
Yes. You could make a cushion.
Of course you could.
To go with it. Or you could just... Because once you got to that stage, you only need 1 of them.
Yes.
So you could put the other one in your stash for something else that you might want to do at another time. So if we could do that to the blue as well, please.
Great shows. Can you... Oh, hang on. Oh, I don't understand that, Jane. Can you please arrowheads and the otter... Oh, that's yesterday's message. That's yesterday. It's just arrived now. Can you put the arrowheads and the otter together? That was the fabrics from yesterday. I was thinking you wanted us to stitch arrowheads on the ships. I couldn't really understand it. That's all I've got, the one from Jane from yesterday. That wasn't you, Messenger. No. Oh, I've got Karen now. Good morning, John and Jane. Sorry not to be talkative for a while. New meds have zombified me. Oh, Karen. Still watching your fab demonstrations and learning. Thank you. What am I doing now?
Would you press that one? We don't actually need that one just yet, but we're going to use it later.
Oh, okay. And did you say there was a message from Debs as well? Oh, Brenda. Let's have a look then. Oh, the doorbell is there. Brenda says, it won't come through, Brenda, so we'll just have to read yours out. She loves the shows. Can you show me the back of the quilt? Do that in a minute for you, Brenda. And who's the other one? Yeah, what's the message, though? Oh, Valerie, ring the call centre, Valerie, my love, and they'll be able to help you with that one. In the back of the quilt. I'll show you the back of the quilt in a minute when we get to the quilting bit. Right, so you've put the blue spot and the red spot together.
Yeah, and the white and the blue on that side.
Okay.
And so I'm going to mark again on the diagonal.
So this one just goes to put to one side?
Yes, I'm going to use that one later. Mark again on the diagonal.
Right.
And so either side.
Okay.
So we're doing the same...
It's the same technique, but we're just seeing how we're going to get there.
You just need the two different colour half-square triangles, really.
Yes.
That's all we're saying.
Do you have a show or something going on in your shop or your village hall recently? I saw a picture on Instagram of lots of tables with quilts on and things.
I went to... Where did I go? Oh, it was the Eccleshall show.
Oh, OK.
Our local, village. It's like a village fair, but obviously we're a little town, Eccleshall is. And it's our annual show, and it's everything from... It's a real traditional show. It's got the horticultural tent in where it's, the biggest...
It's like the Morton Marsh one, then, that it's a massive Morton. Our village this weekend has got its flower and produce show.
Yes,
so it's like the biggest marrow and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, that's what they do. And then at the end of the day, all the people that have entered, their things are auctioned off to raise money for local charities.
That's nice.
So
I think we just eat ours.
They have the best sponge and all of things like that, and... biggest, like you say, the biggest marrow and the biggest chrysanthemum, and some of the ladies have done beautiful flower arrangements.
That's it. That's what. Well, ours is just vegetables and flowers this weekend, and I'm going to the Chipping Campden Lady Quilters this weekend because it's their show in Chipping Campden, and we're doing it that way. Does it matter which way I do it?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll show you another little tip if you like for this 10-minute slot.
Which one? The classic red, white, and blue. Okay. Oh, else have I done that wrong?
No, I'm just going to...
If you want the red... Sorry, Jane. If you want the red, white and blue, check out your baskets. It might not be enough to go around.
I'm just going to unpick a couple of stitches up to the seam.
See? Oh, hang on a sec. It's because we moved over a little bit to the side, isn't it? But...
Just those couple of stitches up to this seam line that I've just sewn across. Do it on both sides.
Yeah.
And then when we press it, we can just open that out.
Oh, yes.
And that just reduces some of the bulk in the middle. So I can just press that. One goes one way. It'll only go one way. You can only do it the one way. That's probably not quite lying flat, but...
Oh, see, so I've pressed it the wrong way then.
No, that's fine.
No.
It's my piecing. I think I didn't quite nest my seams properly.
Right.
But you get that effect in the middle.
Yeah.
And that just reduces the bulk in the middle of the quilt, of the patch.
Lorraine says, morning, John. Looking bright today. Very posh. Thanks for the tips I get from the show. Lots of love, Lorraine. She watches all the time, Lorraine. She's got a posh house, Lorraine has.
So we're going to do the same thing, measuring from the middle, 1 3/4 outwards.
Yeah, measure twice, cut once, Jane.
That's right.
What time is it? Oh, yeah, we're all right. We'll do this and then we'll do the binding. Oh, no.
Have we got time to show you the single block? I don't need to do... I'll just cut,
keep going, and we'll show you how it works, yeah. The single block, yeah, we'll do that in a sec. Oh, that's what this is for, is it?
Yes. I'll just cut this and then we'll go on to the...
Yeah. Don't worry.
Because...
Little Paul's page to the way, and that's why he's bald and grey. You see his new denim jacket?
Yeah, it's nice.
Did you see? It's what?
It's nice.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
We were both rocking the denim this morning.
Yeah, because what you should do is you should accessorise Paul's jacket like you've accessorised yours. Mandy Shaw wanted to embroider roses on it last week.
Oh, right.
And then you could do whatever you've done to yours. You put a rosette on it. It's like a...
Yeah, it's just like a... Sort of a bit like a fascinator type thing.
Get it now. Right, OK, so then you just twist.
Just twist the corners round so you've got your red and your white. So that makes that block.
And you need to make one of those, don't you?
Yes.
And you can decide where it goes, can't you?
You would have two. So if you wanted to, you could
have
two.
Oh, you could put a second one in, yes.
And you could
make half from each of the red, haven't you? So
yeah, so you've got enough to do lots.
So we won't sew that one together.
No.
Now you'll show us how to do the single block. Because obviously, let me just explain, if you weren't watching the beginning of the show, the block is actually this, right? So obviously, for the top and the bottom of your quilt, you need single boats, don't you?
Yes.
So this is how to do a single boat.
Now, that half square triangle block now is, or should be, 10 and 7/8 of an inch.
Yes. These will all be on the website later, don't worry.
So we've got now a plain blue.
So you then cut this one at 10 and 7/8.
10 and 7/8 should fit over the top. So you line that up and you're going to mark the diagonal on there in the opposite direction
right.
to the seam.
Yes.
And we're going to sew quarter of an inch either side.
Right.
I think this marker pen's run out of ink.
Yes, I do as well.
It's okay.
I think that's the one that Jay was supposed to discard of before he went on his holidays. I'll get Amy to get another one.
Thank you. I can see it, but I don't think it's showing up on the camera. So, sew quarter of an inch either side of that line.
Quite therapeutic, this. Now, would you have all your squares cut out before you started?
Yes, I would do all my cutting first and then all my piecing. But I would do each block one at a time.
Yes.
Up on there.
So I'll just snip watch your fingers.
Yeah, that is one of the dangers when you...
What are you muttering about?
I was just going to say that's one of the dangers when you don't cut the thread and you just twist it round. Sometimes it can get caught up on the foot. So quarter of an inch either side of the marked line.
Yeah.
And we're going to cut that. I don't think I sewed that very straight. Couldn't see the line as well as I thought I could. Anyway, we'll just cut it along the marked line. Okay, so we then press that up like that, and you've got what's known as a three triangle square.
Right.
Okay, I'll press that away, and then you cut it into your 9 patch.
And that'll give you what a single boat?
Yes. If I just...
Oh, little Paul's so full of flannel. He's waffling on upstairs. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think he does half the time.
So...
I can't see how you make your single... Go on, keep going. Oh, yes, I can.
What I'm
1 and 3...
Yeah. Do it from the boat, from the white side first.
Right.
1 and 3...
Why?
I'll explain in a second.
Okay, just hold your horses.
Sorry.
No, don't apologise.
So do it that 3-inch strip there.
Yeah.
3.5-inch strip. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to need to now take 1/2 inch off either side and along the top. Because we're cutting it up into a 9 patch again.
Right.
And it's the seam allowances.
Oh, okay then. But this will all be written down. Don't worry if you're confused. It'll be written down on the website later.
Because if you look, I haven't made it into a 9 patch. I've
No,
left the top.
it's a 1, 2, 3.
I just cut the bottom bit into a 9 patch so I can switch.
Yeah.
So I'll just take the 1/2 inch off here just so that people can see what I'm talking about. It'll make more sense.
Got 11 minutes left, James. You're all right.
No pressure.
Well, I think it's fascinating. So you're only taking the 1/2 inch off the bottom 2/3 of the block, really, aren't you?
Yeah. So all I've done is just taken that off that top, the top 2/3, if you like, of what would be the block.
Yeah.
I'm then going to.
Are they saved?
No, you can discard those. They're surplus. Put them in your stash. I think they're too small to be
on the floor.
I think they're too small to go
Right.
in there.
Then you do.
Now, what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to measure 3.5 from
the outside.
In from the outside, because I want to cut against the point of that where that triangle's formed.
Oh, so you can see. Oh, okay.
So we're still making the 3 rows. It's all to do with seam allowances and getting the right size, because you want it to be a 9-inch block when it's finished.
Helen, my love, she says, what sort of iron using? Can I buy it? Fabulous show as usual. Helen from Derbyshire. Helen, we normally sell them. We're out of stock at the moment. They are absolutely fantastic. As soon as it's in again, I'll be doing it. It's a prim little mini iron. It's fantastic. Little steam iron.
So I'm just sewing the blocks together.
Right.
You twisted the block around, the corner ones around to make the boat shape, so...
Have you got a name for the boat? Is it, what's that one? Janie Mc... No, what was that one called? Boaty McBoatface. Janie McJaneface. No, Janie McJane Quilt. No, that doesn't work.
Quilty McQuilty.
What?
Quilty McQuilty.
Quilty McQuilty. The rotating mat's brilliant for this bit because it's not complicated, but...
So there we go.
Okay, so there you've got your single boat.
So when you'll sew that together and that will make... That's why you trim that bit off so it all fits
because
together.
otherwise this bit would now be sticking out. Well, I mean, you could leave those bits there and then trim off
afterwards. Yeah, you could.
Right, OK, somebody asked about the back of the quilt. So the quilting on this, before we go on to the binding, because the next stage would be the quilting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
So you've layered it up with... You just used some white spec, or is that antique white on the back of yours, have you? Yeah. And then you've layered it with some batting in between.
Yes.
You've chosen to do waves.
Yeah.
And you've also done, in each of these, you've done like a triangular wave almost to create what would look like the origami fold of the boat,
just to give it more of that paper boat effect.
Yes. Because I can't remember who's one to see the back. So there you go. You can see the boat. So Jane's quilted the boat shape, then the triangular bit there, and then in the bit underneath, was Brenda, that was it. Brenda asked that. Now, what you've also done is you've got between your boat blocks, you've got another strip of sashing there, haven't you?
Yeah, it's inch finish, so cut at 1.5.
Right.
And I just put it in between.
Oh, now hang on. Let's go back. So you've sewn... No, hang on. So we're here. This is a block, isn't it? You've sewn 4 blocks together.
Yeah.
Then across the top, you've done a whole width.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. There's one here as well.
That's on the side. I just did that to square it up. I measured... Once I got the 4 rows of blocks together and sashed it...
Yes.
And put the 4 single blocks...
Yes.
One upside down, one the right side up. Once I got those all together, I measured from the top to the bottom and then added the sashing on the side just to make it square.
To make it square. No, I think it works. Then just talk us quickly through this... we've got 10 minutes. We're all right.
You're OK.
You were sorry, have I raced ahead?
No, that's fine.
Let's just talk us through the binding, because we haven't seen It's almost like a triple binding, isn't it?
Yeah,
really? Like I said it looked a bit like piping without the piping in.
Yeah,
but it's kind of not as complicated as piping,
no,
is it?
it's a sort of faux. It's a faux piping, isn't
Yes.
it? Really. What I did was I took a 3/4 inch piece of the cream,
Right.
the white. So cut it 3/4 inches.
Yes.
Folded it in half, wrong sides together.
Right. Yes.
And then did the same with the red, but the red is I think it's hot. Is it half? No, that's 3/4. The white is an inch.
Right.
Sorry, I do apologise.
So the cream was an inch, folded in half.
This will be on.
Yes. And then the red was 3/4 of an inch, folded in half.
I placed them together, raw edges together.
Yeah.
And I've just sewn them down basically using the biggest stitch on the machine.
Oh, you just machine tacked them together?
I mean, you could do it by hand, but I was whizzing.
Oh, no, I think the machine is easier.
So it's just as close to the edge as you feel comfortable doing, just to hold them together.
Right.
If we imagine this is the edge of the quilt.
Yes.
I then put top and bottom, sewed that on, again, using the large tack stitch, and more or less...
Now, hang on. Would you do it, because this is the right side of the quilt?
Yes, on the right side of the quilt, on the edge. So you've got the 3 layers of your quilt.
Yes, got it.
Place this edge to edge on the top.
Right.
And if you imagine this is the bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom of the quilt. So
Yeah.
you've got that sewn on. And then, again, just to tack it down. If you want to pin it...
So raw edges at the same place, edges
all
together.
raw edges together. So you've basically got 3 layers of your quilt and these 4 edges.
Okay, so you've machine tacked that into place as well?
Again, more or less on top of the line that I'd already done.
Yeah.
So once I've got that edge to edge there, when I came to do the side edges...
Okay, so you did the top and the bottom first?
Yeah. Because otherwise you'd end up with
a weird corner,
raw edges. I unpicked slightly the 2 edges.
Yeah.
And unpick this one slightly, and I put the white the other side, other end. Make sure you've got the right end undone.
Yeah.
Put the white, tuck that in there, brought the red over the top of it.
Oh my word!
And then put the red on the top, so it forms that corner.
Yes. So you've got that. Can you see that there? That really lovely, neat corner. Bringing in the overhead camera just to see.
Probably can't.
So yeah, you can. So you've basically got the white equivalent piping. Just move your finger a sec.
Sorry.
Along there, and then the red on the top. But you've still got your raw edges, but where you're going to see, it's all tucked in, so it's not. There's no raw edges.
Shall I just show it again?
Yep.
So you've got that tack down to there. You just untack it a little bit. Put that white bit on the top there.
Yeah.
Lay the red over the top of that,
yeah.
and then bring the other red over the top.
Right.
And
so your raw edges are still against the raw edges at the side.
Quilt, yeah.
But all your folds are like you want is encased in it, so you haven't got any raw. Otherwise, you'd have a raw white edge, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
Okay, and then so that's all machine tacked into place.
Yeah, and then I do my traditional binding. So I then just sew that as I would do normally with 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
Against the edge, and then bring that over and hand stitch that down on the back.
So you've got your finished. Obviously,
so
we've mixed the different bundles here. So you'd have the. Would that be the spot fabric?
Yeah.
On this one, it would be the spot fabric. Yeah. It's just that we just use the linear print one on here.
So that.
I mean, you don't have to do that. That's just a Jane technique, isn't it?
I just thought it added a bit more to it because I thought if I just bind that with just the blue.
Yes.
It's going to be quite a stark-looking
quilt,
exactly. So it just gives it a bit more
what you could have done is you could have just done, if you wanted to, if you don't want to do that, you could have just done a cream border or a red border.
Yeah.
And then I like quilts with the backs patched. So I would then have used any fabric that was left over, just sewed them all together to create my, well, I would have done it beforehand, but to do the whole back sort of
and
thing.
If you wanted to, you could put the red boat.
Yes.
The spare red boat that you would have on the back if you wanted to.
Oh, yes, like as your quilt label.
Yeah.
So is there anything, if I go over and just do the roundup of the fabric, is there anything we should watch out for?
It's just really, when you first start with that block, be precise with your cutting and making sure that they are properly pinned together before you
Yes.
sew them on the diagonal. And take your time when you're cutting it up into the 9 patch, because again, the accuracy of the cutting at the start and then when you've joined it together, that will give you better matching boats.
Exactly. And also, if you haven't got one of these and you'd like to put it on the Christmas list. Put it on your Christmas list, but buy it soon because I've only got limited amounts of these. You actually asked for this rotating board because that actually helps with this block, doesn't it?
It just helps with your accuracy because you're not having to move the fabric. Because if you try and move the fabric on your mat, which you can do, you can move that round.
Yeah, but this just makes it... I'll put it down and show you.
You're sort of moving your fabric moves the cutting. So again, it sort of just stops your accuracy, if you like.
Yes, exactly. Right, and you come back in an hour with a rainbow quilt.
Yes.
And it's gorgeous. Don't go anywhere. There's a rainbow quilt. I'm coming over there. We'll see you in an hour's time.
Lovely.
And there was no need to be nervous, you see. You're silly there. Right, OK, let's go through the bundles very quickly. I'm going to start with the traditional one because it's very, 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 very low in stock now. This one you get, it's all spectrum solids. You get half a metre of the red. You get 1 metre of the white, and you get 2 metres of the blue, 3.5 metres in total, £23.95. And you get the thread as well. So that is like a really traditional colourway, isn't it? So if you're not even thinking of making the quilt that we've just done, red, white, and blue, a bunting, anything like that, always, always, always fantastic, isn't it? OK, that's the first one. Then the spot one, which is the one that Jane was just making. You get half a metre of the red spot on, a metre of the plain white, antique white. Then you've got the 2 metres of the blue. Now, obviously, the way we've bundled it, you do have to make it the way that Jane's made it. You do have to have the red as the single boat and piping, the white as the boats, and the blue as the backing. OK, then the linear one, which is the one that Jane made, you got half a metre of the red, a metre of the vanilla, and 2 metres of the Riviera blue, plus the thread, £36.45. 3.5 metres. And then last but not least, this is the one that's slightly off-piste. They call this one Stormy Weather. Oh, little Paul's calling it Stormy Weather. Don't ask me why. So you've got the pink, half metre of the pink, metre of the cream, 2 metres of the azure, and the thread, £23.95. And very quickly, just to sum up of the book, which is just gorgeous. All Things Quilting. It's a beautiful book, absolutely beautiful book with all the techniques, and it's a really, really lovely, lovely book with techniques and just how to basically make a quilt. It's not one that gives you... I mean, it's got inspirations, okay, gorgeous, beautiful, but it doesn't tell you how to make each of the quilts. It's not a how-to-make quilting book. It's all different techniques that you'd need to put a quilt together. It's just fantastic. It really is a brilliant, brilliant book. If you're starting, or if you're going back to it, or indeed, there you go, from first step to last stitch. Over 1 million copies sold, £19.95. Right, I've got to also tell you very quickly, going for a break now, but before we go for the break, I also remember we had our summer sale a while ago. Now, those fabrics are only available on the web now. So what you need to do is you need to go to www.sewingquarter.com, and then on the front there, you see on the front there where it says extra 25% off summer sale. If you click on there, it'll take you to the summer sale. Now, it's already got what's off, you know, the discount from the sale, right? But when you check out, if you put in the code extra25, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, extra25. It'll only come on when you check out, right? It will then take an extra 25% off the fabric. So you've already got those other percentage off. It'll take another 25% off. Now, it's only available on the web. We're not going to see those fabrics on your telly again. So you see, so that one's already 25% off. You get another 25% off if you put the code in. Fantastic. Now, Amanda says she's not very well, so you have to be gentle with her today. But you know how passionate she is about her overlocker. We're doing an overlocking masterclass, and how to... I mean, it's the most beautiful overlocker. I love it. And there's an offer. We've got an offer going on as well. Anyway, so don't go anywhere. 3 minutes from now, Amanda will be here with the Elna Overlocker, and me, and a special offer. Don't go anywhere. Go and make yourself a quick cup of tea, and we'll see you back here in 3 minutes from now.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do a slip stitch, which is basically a hemming stitch that is almost invisible on both the right and the wrong sides of the fabric. So I'm going to go in through my layers here, through the single hem. I'm going to leave a tail before doing my double stitch here. So I'm just going to go through one, twice there. That's giving me my double stitch or locking stitch, ready to then do my slip stitch. Okay, so first of all, you need to take the smallest amount of fabric. So you want at least 1 or 2 pieces of thread in the fabric before then going into the fold of your single hem. And you're going to run your needle through that fold before pulling it out. And then again, a couple of stitches. Bearing in mind I'm using a really big needle here because I'm using an embroidery thread, but you get the idea where you're just catching your material there before again placing your needle in through the fold of your single hem. So you want to keep these as even as possible. So I'm just doing my last stitch now. So here you can see that you can't really see the stitches from the back of the piece, so this would be the back of the trouser leg, the bit that you wouldn't see, and then from the front you should only see very small stitches, if not at all, if you're using the right needle and thread.
Join us on Wednesday the 13th of September for a colourful Hexy happy hour with guest Victoria Peat. English paper piecing dab hand Victoria lets no piece of fabric go to waste. With her steady hand and her keen eye for colour, she turns her offcuts into gorgeous EPP creations. Well, now we've armed Victoria with a stack of hexes and some of our finest fabrics, including prints from the popular Botanica range, as well as some gems from Tilda's Harvest collection. Alongside host Natasha McCarty, she'll bring you an EPP demonstration that's bound to give you the piecing bug. So tune in at 9 a.m. on Wednesday the 13th of September for an hour of Hexy fun with Victoria Peat. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. It's obviously a bit of a lurgy going around the building, so you'll hear her hacking and coughing in a minute, Amanda. But also little Paul's feeling a bit peculiar today as well. He's not feeling a bit ropey is the word he's using. Right, before we go on, because it's an overlocking masterclass this hour, I need to talk to you about the Great British Sewing Bee Show on in London. If you go to our website, the front page of the website, there's that one that's "We'll be there, will you?" Oh, it's moved again. There it is. Sewing Quarter customers. Now, it's a new look. You can now get 2 tickets. Oh, hang on, where's it gone? 2 for 1. 2 for 1. You get 2 tickets for the price of 1 now. Just click on buy discounted tickets and it'll take you through 21st to 24th of September. Now, all of last week, you can stop looking at that now. All of last week, I was saying, there's 3 people there. And I was saying, no, there's only 2. There's only 2. Jennifer Taylor's there, Natasha's there, and crazy, mad as a bag of spanners. Is that what they say? Rebecca Reed's there. Rebecca Reed's there. So I knew there were 3. I knew there were 3 people there on the stand. So by all means, go along and see them. It's going to be fantastic. Well, who else is going? Oh yeah, I'm going to go. But I think I'm going on the Friday. I'm not on the stand. I'm not officially. I wasn't asked to do it officially. But I'm not one to hold a grudge. But I think on the Friday I will do. Right now, here we go. Right now, we're going to be doing the Elna overlocking machine today, which is I love overlockers, and this is the most fantastic. And in a minute, I won't be speaking much because Amanda's so enthralled and loves this machine so much that she'll just go off on one and that'll be it. We won't say it. But we've got a special offer because normally, I'll move out the way of the graphics there. Normally, you pay £449 for the overlocker, right? But today, we've got a special offer. If you want the overlocker and 4 overlocking threads, you'll still get them for £449. Now, we've got it in 2 different colourways. That one's with the grey threads. There it is, there it is. So you get the Elna 664 Pro overlocking sewing machine with 4 grey overlocking threads. They're 1,000 metres each. 1,000 metres each. They're worth £31.80. You're getting those free. So you can either buy the Elna overlocking with the grey, or you can go with the navy. You can go with the navy. Right? £31.80. Right, while I'm here, I know Amanda's gagging to go, but can I also do this, right? So you can also, if you want the L, now you might have been, last time we were on, Amanda and I were on with this, she sold out. She sold out all the allocated stock we had that day. If you've already got it and you're thinking, oh, John, I've got my machine, just want the threads. Just want the threads. We've got the threads for sale as well. I'll run you through all 4 now so that you can start buying them, and then we'll start so we'll start with the navy. Right, these are the graphics if you want to buy the 4 navy threads, special overlocking thread, which we'll ask Amanda about in a second. There they are, the 4 navy threads. Graphics coming in. £31.80. So that's the navy Mini King overlocking thread. There's 4,000 metres you've got there, 4,000 metres, right? Black is next, because we also have it in black and white, you see, as well. So you want black, there's the black one, £31.80. You ready? Where are the graphics? Oh, it's so slow today. There you go. There's the black overlocking thread, 4,000 metres. We've also got it in the grey, which is the navy and the grey are the 2 free gifts, obviously, as well, if you buy the overlocking machine. There's the grey one. The navy and the grey are in the kit if you buy the... navy or grey if you buy the Elna overlocking machine. And the last one is white. You can just buy the black and white ones. So here's the white ones. 4 white ones, 4,000 metres of white. Could say that. The Gutermann Wyatt Mini King overlocking white. Get it? 4,000 metres at £31.80. Right.
Hello.
Hello. No, I don't know if I'm going to... We missed that. We were just going to kiss each other. We went like, ooh, like that. How are you feeling? Because I know you've been really, really bad with it, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just on the cusp now. I've just got that dry hacking.
Are you still contagious?
No.
Right, you love this machine, don't you?
Here we go. I'm not going to get through this hour.
No, we'll just apologise now. But if there's any time you need anything, just say you need it.
No.
Okay, so now you love this overlocker, don't you?
I do. Yeah, you know I do.
Yeah. Before we start, what's special about it?
It's really simple to thread. Really, really simple to thread. It's really smooth to use. I've used lots of different models, and they're just all a little bit lightweight, a little bit plasticky, and just rattle and do, but it's just really smooth and lovely.
Well, usually the choice is a little plasticky one that rattles, or your great big factory one, which nobody's got room for in their house.
Exactly.
Because when I worked in theatre and had overlockers, they were
the big
beasts,
industrial,
you know what I mean? And I can't get over how brilliant this is. For something so compact, it's brilliant. Right?
Yeah, they've got every conceivable little bit of detail in there.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's just, I love it. I couldn't work without it.
Exactly. Now, any questions you've got, send them through straight away, because I know last time we did this, we had lots of people saying, oh, I've got one, it doesn't do this, I've got one. If you've got any questions, Amanda's quite happy to answer them.
Sure.
So, now, the reason you see these 4 different colours on here is but they're not available from us today. But Amanda does that when she shows how to do it, because they've colour-coded how each thread goes through. And also, when you do some stitching, you're able to show us what each thread does.
Yeah, where it sits, what its functionality is, and this is what we do and we sort of teach on our overlocking course as well, is to get people to sort of thread up. Okay?
All right, off you go then.
Right, okie-bookie. So, it's where we sort of start, really. OK, so you've got your telescopic thread guide.
Yes.
When you're using it, you must always be up. If you are transporting it, push it down. OK? So always up, so none of your threads actually get left tangled up. Okay, you've got your dials on the side, and these are your stitch length.
The top one, was that the top one you just pointed to?
Yeah, stitch length and your differential feed.
Right.
Then you've got a little switch here, which goes from standard stitching and to a rolled hem.
Right.
Okay, so the majority of the time it's just flicked down to the ST.
You'll go through what all of these do as the show goes on.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then this is the actual, just the clutch wheel, okay? And it's
Right.
quite important. When you are doing it, obviously it comes forward. To disengage the chain, okay?
Yeah.
When you lift your presser foot, you can then, if you actually sort of crank it backwards, it will then, and bring your needles up to the up position, you'll then disengage your threads and they will just run completely smooth.
Right.
Whether you can sort of see that
Which
on
comes
the
that way,
monitor. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
So now, why would you disengage it?
Okay, sometimes when you're, perhaps if you're going to go round a sleeve edge, you take a little notch out of the seam allowance so you can then slide it under and get closer to your original stitch line, and then the blade can engage. So without that chain, it's not going to get in the way. And then when you get right to the end of it, you can then butt right up to it, lift, disengage, slide out and tie them off. It's not necessary every time, but it's just a really good, handy one.
For somebody who's never ever had an overlocker, because they do more than one job, don't they, really? Because they oh, well, I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, they do. We've got the functionality of having 4 threads and 2 needles. The functionality of 4 threads and 2 needles is basically to actually construct an item. So you're actually going to put 2 pieces of fabric together and it will hold it there nice and strong.
Yes.
You can then have the other functionality of taking one of the threads, the needle threads off, and you'll then operate with 3 threads and 1 needle. You can then operate it with the left-hand needle, which will give you a wider stitch finish, or the right needle, which will give you the narrow stitch finish. Yes. Okay, so that is just literally for neatening and finishing off.
I was going to say, because when I used to make costumes, that's all we ever used it for, because obviously we would never finish off to a finished size because you'd always need to alter and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, like we zigzag seams when we've only got our sewing machine. This can finish edges but doesn't do the seams. But you can also do the seam actual construction with it as well, can't you?
Yeah, totally. So that's the functionality. This machine then has the additional functionality of having a 2-thread overlocking operation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that is operated with this little sort of gadget called a spreader. Now, the functionality of a 2-thread overlocking is purely decorative. Okay, so it won't hold fabric together. It will just literally neaten and finish. Okay, so it'll stop the fabric from fraying. It's just as good with for the 3, but it will just spread it around, and it's more for a decorative purpose.
Well, I was going to say, years and years ago, I used to make, in the 80s, I used to make wedding dresses for people, and in the 80s it was all about frill and frou-frou and everything like that. And when you do a skirt like this, and then I did one wedding dress that had 3 skirts, all ruched up at different points, but every skirt had a ruched attached to it, so, you know what I mean? At the hem, it then had silk ruched to it. So I spent hours and hours and hours hemming and then ruching sort of thing. Yeah. Whereas I could have got a really gorgeous glitter thread or a see-through thread or a white thread or whatever colour the wedding, and just finished the edges off with the 2-threader. Yeah. And then it would have been part of the decoration rather than
through it. Yeah. So it's really,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is just decoration, and like you can then put sort of variegated threads, like you say, sort of silky threads through. So if you're doing sort of like a bit of a blanket coat or edging a blanket, if you want to, you can just literally edge that and it'll give you a nice sort of blanket finish.
It's like a blanket, almost like a
blanket stitch.
Blanket stitch.
Yeah. So if we get a chance, I'll
we'll
demonstrate that one through as well.
Could you just repeat how to disengage the threads, please? Is this how to do a circular seam? That's from Diana in Greater London.
So if I just chain through, okay. So if the camera can get... So we've got a length of chain. So it's always really important when you are overlocking to make sure that you do keep a good sort of 10 centimetres, 4 inches of chain, just because obviously if it gets sucked back in and you then got to start sort of threading it through.
Yes.
So we've got our chain. We lift the presser foot up and we what I call crank back the clutch. So
Right.
the needles have got to be in the up position, and we just pull gently, and the chain has now disengaged, and we've
So
just
it's
got the
just
4.
threads. And what was the second part of that question? Oh, what was the second part of of Diana's question? Is that how you do a circular seam? I don't know what a circular seam is.
A circular seam?
Diana, can you
Just a little bit more information?
Yeah, a bit more information. Debs, as you know, John, I have a sewing machine and a knitting business, and I wouldn't be without my overlocker. It's a must for the professional finish. Lots of love, Debs. Well, it is. You're the same, aren't you?
It is. It's a game changer. What really sort of got me into sort of making clothes. I had to go on one. I never made myself any clothes before. It was just sort of like dance costumes for my daughter. I had to go on one. Said that was it.
Yes.
Fell in love. Got to have one, and I've never bought a
Because
piece
it's
of
not a
garment
sewing
before.
machine. We've got to point out it's not a sewing machine. Is
No,
it?
it won't replace your normal sewing machine,
Yes.
but it is such an addition to your sewing machine that it will go hand in hand and really does sort of game change everything.
Okay, someone's asked about the actual. Oh, have you got it there? As how many? The width is 32 centimetres. Depth is 29 centimetres. And the height to here will be 28. Then obviously you've got to remember the telescopic will be half again, at the same again. Janet, there's your sizes, Janet, love. Right, okay.
Okay, so if we then start. So when it arrives, it will come with 4 threads, okay, colour-coded, but they'll only be sort of this
That
long,
long, yes, you're not
and
gonna
sort of
get
tied
these, yeah.
off. So the easiest way when we actually then sort of take it through is if I bet I can't use one of these, can I? I haven't got another one. Is literally you're just.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
I think I can.
Yeah. I'll take the responsibility. Yeah, use one of those.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to use the grey.
I'll use the grey. Okay.
These are the ones you get now. You get either the grey or the blue. If you buy the machine today, £31.80 worth of thread you get for free with it.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm just going to cut that thread, and that's how your machine would come. I won't pierce the bottom.
No, do.
Okay.
Use it.
Okay. I'll pop it that way, a bit easier. And then literally just tie the two together, just with a single knot.
Yeah.
Ooh, she says. Not a good demo. Okay, so they are to there. Place it through the guide. Disengage your threads.
Yeah.
If I open up the machine, okay, and again, the presser foot is up, so the tension discs are released, and we can pull, and then it's just a little bit of a tug to get it through the tension bars, another little to go through tension discs, and then you can see that it's just starting to run through, and now I've got the grey thread.
Yeah.
all the way through.
In my day, they were so complicated to thread that we did this every time we changed the colour.
Yeah.
We always did and just prayed that the knot didn't come open going through.
Yeah, sometimes it will actually.
But this is actually really, really simple. This is the first time you've got it do that, but it's really, really simple.
It is simple to thread through. So this is your lower looper, the green. The next one along is the upper looper, and it likes to be threaded in this order.
Yes.
You work from right to left.
Yeah.
When you tie on, you can actually do the tying on method with the upper and the lower looper. You can't do it with your needles because the knot won't go through the eye of the needle,
yes,
okay? But it's nothing to worry about with the threading of the needles. It's just like a regular sewing machine, okay?
The reason yours comes with the different coloured threads like that is because when you come to look at it, you'll see that the one that was green, you follow the green track. We'll show it to you in a second. And then the yellow one goes through. Everything's marked with a yellow dot. So you can go through, so you know that you're threading the right thread through the right bit of the machine.
I was going to say, so I'm going to pull this out and I'll just thread the lower looper. The lower looper is the most complicated.
Right.
But it is still simple.
Okay.
The upper looper, so I'm just going to pull so it's completely now. Has no thread in it whatsoever.
Okay.
So we bring it up, click it through.
Hang on a sec, let's just catch up with you.
Sorry.
Right, there we go. No, you're right now.
Okay, so it just clips under the little lever. You take it through your tension disc, through there, down, through the little groove, okay, And then it's got a diagram through, but like you said, it's got all the green little discs that you follow.
So there's a drawing and there's the disc.
Yeah.
So and also you'll get
the manual
a
as
full manual
well.
with it as well. So yeah.
So we've come down through the tension discs, through the thread guide down here. We've then got this little thread guide, and this one slides up and down, and it will say for 3 and 4 overlocking, so it needs to be in the upright position.
Yeah.
You just push it down when you're going for the 2 thread. We then have got 2 little circular elements. So it comes with, I don't normally need to use, but just so for demonstration purposes, you can use your long tweezers.
Yeah.
So that will go through that hole, as does that one. Okay. So that's the first 3 steps. If we open up. Now this one, on this little round disc, whether the camera can get in.
We're with you.
Okay. If you push up, it will expose the little green hook for you to be able to actually hook that round. And it's simply a question of just making a loop with your thread or pushing your finger back and hooking it over the back of that hook.
So you came from the back through, did you?
Yeah, it's just literally making a loop just to take it around that little hook.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, okay. So we've gone down, gone number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yeah.
We're in that 4th one. And then there's one final little hook, again, which is attached and is exposed.
Okay, now, we can't see that at the moment.
Yeah.
But we'll pull your hand away in a second and have a look.
Okay.
All right. So it's still green, isn't it? And it's up at the top there.
So this one's green.
Yeah.
This one is silver.
Oh,
There's
okay.
just a little piece through there.
Yeah.
Okay. When you then push this disc back down, the 2 hooks disappear. Okay. We can just manoeuvre it through. And then this, the one in front, the needle, the threader, there's a little hole, okay, in the front that then needs to be threaded through.
Okay, we're just going to do it. You're just threading the needle. Now, I know a lot of people will say, oh, isn't there a blade in there?
There is 2 blades.
Are you... I mean, I know wherever a blade is, you've got to be careful, but you're not anywhere near the blades at this point, are you?
No.
And would you have... I know you've got your light on in there. Would you disengage your pedal at this point, just in case you press on your pedal while you're...
I would just move the pedal away. Make sure that your foot's off of it.
Yes.
Only because, you know, unless you've got a light that you can shine, I just need some extra light on it.
Of course you do.
I totally...
I was also saying, when it's new, you're concentrating like that.
Right,
your foot pedal's there.
It's quite easy to put the foot down.
So just watch that,
Okay, so we're now back threaded again. All right. Okay, so within the machine, okay, this is your upper blade, okay?
Sorry, did I see that? Oh, yeah, got it.
Okay, and we disengage it by, there's a little wheel on this side.
Right.
You push in and twist it down.
Right, and now hang on, we have to... Can we see that from this side here? Right, hang on a second.
Do you want me to turn the machine around?
What's the best way, Timothy, to show this, just so we can see? There we go.
Okay. So, this little wheel here.
Let's go a bit further. That's it.
There we go. So it's a push in and twist to engage it, a push in to disengage it.
Now, why would you want to engage and disengage?
Okay, depending what you are doing, if you're sort of neatening and trimming off, then obviously you'll have the blade engaged. If you are doing, say, putting a seam together, sort of hemming it up, so you might hem up, okay, and turn it back. So I tend to do this on, like, the wrestling shorts. So around sort of like the leg area, you can then actually sort of hem all together, all right, and finish it. But I disengage the blade because just in case I catch. Got it. And that way,
we'll show you how to do that when we get going with the
and then
fabric.
you'll just end up with like a little lip.
Yes. So you know, on like cycling shorts, sportswear, swimming shorts, there's like a hem So there's like an extra little band going round, but the overlocking's up inside, and the actual finish around the leg is a fold, like a binding. Well, that's how you do that one without the blade. You don't use the blade to cut it. It just turns it and stitches it at the same time.
It may be that you want to, if you're doing something very fine and delicate and you do like a rolled hem, you might not want to actually be trimming off at the same time. Flat lock seams as well, I don't tend to have the blade engaged, so I was going to, if we get a chance, have a look at doing some flat lock seams as well today. Okay, so the other thing, if I sort of take off the, where's it gone? All right, so the foot is just like a sewing machine that you press release and the grabber just lets go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've removed that. An overlocker works with 2 feed dogs, okay, a front and a back. Okay, so they're pulling the fabric through simultaneously.
Yeah.
And this is where the differential feed button comes in. So when we call that the machine is in neutral, it would be number 1. Okay, so when it's in number 1, the differential feed, the feed dogs will be pulling at the same rate. Okay?
Right.
If we then turn it up, okay, the front feed dog will pull that little bit quicker than the back one.
Right.
Okay?
And why would you want that?
So it's to compensate stretch.
Right.
All right, so if we're working with stretch fabrics or even with cottons, if we've cut through a bias at all, it will really stretch. And we want the fabric to retain its flatness. So by actually compensating the differential feed, it will pull it through nice and even.
Right.
If we turn it down to a 0.5, the front feed dog then will be slower than the back. Okay?
Right.
And that way it will stretch the fabric out that little bit. So if we're working on fine fabrics or we want to create a waffle, it will stretch it out. And again, it will perform the way it wants to.
All of this is written in the booklet.
It is, yeah. I think differential feed was the one thing that really used to sort of get me.
Yes.
And I was like, just didn't quite make sense.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will sort of clear things for people.
Do you have to take the foot off to change the differential feed, or did you just take it off so we could see it?
No, just so you could see how the feed dogs work.
Okay, brilliant.
The other thing that, before I start overlocking, is that I said there was 2 blades.
Yes.
There's the upper blade and then there's the lower blade, okay, which is through here. This is then moved through this white...
Okay, the white handle's on the other side.
Yeah, okay. So it's a little bit of dust in there, a little bit of fluff, so, okay. So you can see this block, basically, the camera mechanic that's manoeuvring in, okay? And this actually then alters the stitch width.
Right.
Okay, so we've got a stitch length and we've got a stitch width to get our perfect length.
Yes.
And there's a little groove on the plate.
Yeah, got that.
And again, to be in neutral in its factory setting, there's all this dust. They do get really
do you want
quite...
the fluff?
Yeah,
the
they
fluff
do
up?
get quite... It's amazing how much sort of fallout you get just from one...
Which is why it's important to keep it looked after, isn't it, as well? Because we've had that issue with sewing machines. So many different designers all using it all the time. Them not being looked after, you would do your own machine, and it kind of causes...
These problems, yeah. You've got a large screwdriver in your kit, which will take off just the one nut, which will actually remove this plate.
Yes.
And it's really quite important. Sometimes you sort of be setting it up and you're thinking something's just not stitching right, or it just might sound a little bit rougher than normal.
Yes.
And it's just lint that's got compounded under the feed dogs. So don't be afraid of it. Just literally take that one screw out.
Also, you can buy that, like if I have to use it to clean my ear. That's brilliant, isn't it? It's like compressed air in a can.
Yeah.
Not my ear, my earpiece. And you just do like that and it'll just...
I was just going to say that.
No, not my ear, my earpiece. But it's not doing any harm, but it's got quite powerful to get rid of dust and things like that.
Yeah.
Fluff.
Okay.
Right.
So for factory setting then, it needs, for normal sort of cottons, it needs to sit just proud of this line.
Yeah.
So the right-hand side, so you've got a little gap, okay?
Yeah.
So when you're actually overlocking, sometimes you might look at your threads and you're sort of thinking, well, it's just sort of like bunching up a little bit too much, or it's overhanging the material, and that's just to do with the stitch width. That's all it is, and you just need to alter the bottom blade out. Okay.
Okay.
Righty-ho.
Okay, the other... Well, the other reason the threads are different colours is when Amanda starts doing actual overlocking stitching in a second, you'll see which section does which bits of stitching with it. Before you do any stitching, you've got to remember that we've got an offer today. This normally, the overlocker normally sells at $449. On 449. Today we've got two special offers. You can either buy it with grade bundle, you get 4,000 metres of the overlocking thread, £31.80 worth. Get it completely free with the overlocker. Or if you want navy blue, you can get it with the navy blue. They've got slightly different codes there. Just speak to the call centre and say, I want the... Remember, it's still only £2.95 P&P for packing for the whole day. So if you buy one of these as well as everything else, you still only pay £2.95 post packing. Right, so let's get to...
OK, so... Just want to bring my blade back up, make sure everything's
ready to go
in place.
So what was this? What did you just give me here? What was this?
OK, so this is the little chip bin waste tray.
Right.
So it just hooks on the front.
Right.
OK? Which is really useful because you
so
can
where
end
the
up
bits
with...
are cutting off.
Yeah, you just literally end up with a lap full.
So now, do you use it the same as a sewing machine with the foot pressure on?
With the foot presser, yeah. This got sort of... Obviously, some of the other machines have got, like, the speed controls.
Yes.
These haven't.
Right,
they go fast or faster.
Yes, I was going to say, it's just fast, isn't it?
Yeah, it just literally, on the pressure of your foot. So can you hear? It's just so smooth.
Yes. So what it's doing, the blade is actually cutting off just the raw edge of the seam. So whether it's you're finishing off the edge of a seam or whether you're actually stitching two things together, it's just neatening all the edge. So have a look at it in a second. Diana's message went. I think Diana's. Remember the circular thing was about finishing at the end of a. It's disappeared off my screen now. Remember she said the circular. It's like what happens at the end when you finished a seam. But you'll come to that.
When I was on about doing an arm, I'll sort of show one of those then. All right then. So
let's just have a look at what it's physically done here.
Okay. So. This is the top. This is what we call the top. People always ask me, you know, is there a right or a wrong side of doing overlocking? And I always say the top, if you put your fabric through with the print, obviously I'm using a Spectrum Solid here. If you put it through with the print facing upwards, that will be the right side. And so when your seams are pressed open, you will have the nicer sort of finish on the front.
Okay. So just take me through what all the stitches are then.
Okay, so on the front, you have got your upper looper, which is the yellow.
Right.
And then you've got two lines of straight stitch, which are the right needle and the left needle. So the red is the right-hand needle.
Yeah.
The blue is the left-hand needle.
And why do you need both of those needles?
So what we've done now, we've got two pieces, and that has actually...
Oh, right, you've actually seamed two pieces of... So we weren't just finishing then.
No,
we were seaming two pieces of fabric.
We were constructing and seaming at the same time. So this is great if you're doing T-shirts, if you've got a good favourite pattern that you know it fits well, and you can just go straight ahead and actually construct it through. OK,
quick question then. As a dressmaker, I always used to put 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on it.
Yeah.
If you're using an overlocker like this, how much seam allowance do you put on your pattern?
You can still do 5/8. It always read your pattern, OK?
Oh, I'm talking about when I make patterns. Sorry.
Right. OK, so... if you're making your pattern, if it is for a jersey, you can just literally put on 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, so 6 millimetres, because that's the distance you've got. Yeah. Obviously, always check on your patterns as well, because sometimes they are purposely designed to be used with an overlocker.
Especially the stretch fabric ones.
With the stretch fabrics, that they will probably only allow a 6 mil.
Because what would happen is I used to draw... if I was using calico or picking fabric, and then I'd sew, and then I'd overlock the edges. But if you're sewing them together, you need that needle to be on your sewing line. Yeah. So it'll chop off there. So if you have put because if you put 5/8 of a seam allowance and then just go around all the edges, you're going to have added 1/2 inch on every single seam. So something that should have been this big is actually going to be that big.
You're going to gain.
Yes, exactly. Can I just ask about the bottom of that as well? Because we showed the top.
Yeah.
The top three layers were there. So you've got the yellow, which is the loopy one, and then and then the other two, which are the straight stitches. But then on the other side... That's
your lower looper.
Right, lower looper. Looper, not loopy.
So that is your lower looper. And so you've got all those sort of like Y shapes.
Yes.
And
Y. But that's the green one. That's the one you threaded first, yeah.
So you should have, it should, when it's like for a perfect stitch, should be nice and flat, and the lower looper just sitting on top of that edge, which that is there, okay?
Brilliant.
So your factory settings, there's no need to actually mess with your dials. Your factory settings will come and they're all set on 3.
Right.
Okay? If there is a little bit of slippage somewhere or you're using different fabric, if you actually then look at it and start, when we sort of teach on our courses, it's about problem solving and actually being able to read your stitches and see which is doing what.
Which one's not working
Yeah, what
properly,
thread is not sitting where it should be. So if the one is sort of like dragging it back a little bit, you'll just need to decrease.
Right, OK, that ties in with a question from Elaine. She said, why does she need to get overlocking thread? So why are we doing a bundle and why are we selling overlocking thread? Can you not just use a normal thread?
OK. When you are using, I would always recommend using overlocking thread, OK? Thread comes in different weights. So our normal all-purpose sewing thread is a 40 weight, okay?
Yeah.
These are 120. The higher the number, the finer the thread. Now, people will sort of go, but if you're constructing, surely you want it really strong.
Yeah.
If you're constructing, because we're putting 4 threads into that garment, it is going to be strong. If you put 4 lots of the 40 weight in, you're really increasing the bulk within your seam.
And also, the machine doesn't really like it either, does it? To be putting a thicker thread.
Yeah, it will coat with it, but it's just a finished item.
Yeah.
It's going to be too bulky for the purpose.
Yes.
Okay. If you are doing decorative, so 2-thread overlocking, then it's fine. You can put through your embroidery threads,
well,
which
yes,
are 30 weight.
And you're glittery and you're variegated. And
yeah,
like
you
that.
can do those.
But for finishing,
and
seams,
constructing, it should be overlocking thread.
And also, I don't always, if it's a red dress I don't always think, I've got to have red, because you're thinking, because we've got the grey, the blue, the white and the black. I find that they will do 90% of your work. Unless, of course, it's a seam, like if you're doing one of your Irish dancing dresses, you don't want a green dress and then see white lines or black lines inside. Then you'd match the colour, wouldn't you?
You would. To be honest, sometimes it is quite nice to have a contrast. I've done denim skirts with, like, red inside and things like that. I always say you definitely need 4 black and 4 white.
Well, there you go. So we've got, before we go any further, if you want to just buy the threads, you could buy the 4 black for £31.80. Which, sorry, we have to wait for the graphics. Black graphics coming in for £31.80, because you definitely need black. You can buy them in white. There's the white ones there. You get 4,000 metres in total. It's a lot. But then you'd be surprised also that different bits use more thread, doesn't it? So don't be thinking they're all going to run out evenly. Now, if you're going to buy the overlocker, you automatically get the blue or the grey free with the kit. But you can also buy navy. Now, the navy and the grey are limited because we've obviously put them with the bundles of theirs. So that's the navy. And then if you want the grey... So you say definitely have blacks and whites.
Black and white you need 4 of, definitely.
Yeah.
The next colour I would go with would be grey.
Right.
Because grey really does dissolve into...
I was going to say, it's grey's like that kind of sand colour, isn't it? You can kind of mix...
Yeah, I think even, like last night, I was overlocking and, I've got grey on the inside.
She makes her outfits the night before, but the bad news is she's only got one outfit, so
I have
too
today,
poorly, not her normal change of outfits. Right.
Okay.
So that was the stitching when you stitch things together.
Yeah, all right. So the other lovely thing that it does, if you want, when you were saying before, if you are using a normal commercial pattern, but you know that it fits nicely and you just want to go ahead and construct it, it's actually got guides on the top, and so it's showing that your solid blue line is your left needle, your dotted line is your right needle.
Yeah.
So if you pop under your piece of fabric and you're keeping the edge underneath that solid line,
right.
You will...
See if we can see that. Oh, yes.
Can you do it? Can you see it? OK. You will get a 5/8 seam allowance, and you're trimming off the additional.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you're trimming off the additional.
Right, now, Timothy, the director, is getting very stressed about how close your finger is to the blade.
No, you're fine. It's because you've got a good sort of quarter of an inch.
The thing is, like we're going to say, with any blade, take care. Take care, because it has got two very sharp blades in it. But when you're as experienced as Amanda, you'll know where you can put your hand.
And your finger can't go underneath.
No.
Yeah, it can't go.
Let's just show that again. Just
you
that again.
can't sort of get. So it is back here.
Yes.
All right. So that's fine. You can just lift the toe up to present the fabric to it.
So that's like lifting the foot up.
Yeah, you haven't got to keep lifting.
Yeah.
You're just lifting the front of the toe up.
Brilliant.
Okay, so that's fine on that one. All right. So next thing that I wanted to show, we want to sort of go through some of these dials. Okay, so we've got some jersey.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, we don't sell jersey, obviously, but this is what most people, or a big percentage of overlockers are used for, jersey fabric.
Yeah.
Like all your dresses, because most of your dresses have got jersey mix in them, haven't they?
Yeah.
They'll all be made on overlockers, won't they? Because of the stretch and everything like that.
Yeah. Right, so piece of jersey, and it's nice and flat on the desk.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how we want it to be sitting.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put it through with a differential feed of 1, just the normal, regular. And I've cut these purposely across grain as well.
Yeah.
So this is just the differential feed in its normal, what we class as like its neutral setting. Okay.
Right.
And when you pop it down, that's not too bad actually.
No.
Okay.
But it
there's
does
a
have a
few little
tendency
bit
to
of
flute.
Little bit of fluting through there. Okay. If we then turn it up to 2, it will compensate greatly.
So on 2,
it's the front feed dog is pulling the fabric through a lot quicker. And so it will then start to arch that round.
Yes.
So that is a considerable too much.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Okay. But then if we go for a 1.5, which is generally what I tend to put a lot of my jerseys on.
So it's the best of both worlds. You haven't got the fluting and you haven't got the curving.
And as I say, even if you're doing cottons, if you're going down sort of like an A-line skirt, anything like that.
Oh, can you see that? Sorry,
and then that will help to stop it from stretching.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you might want to create what we call a lettuce leaf edge. So it's a nice flute. So we can turn...
Is that a technical term? A lettuce leaf edge? I've never heard that before.
A lettuce leaf edge. So we turn the dial right down to 0.5.
Yes.
Okay. So the front feed dog is going to pull the fabric now. It's going, and you can feel that it's a lot slower.
Yes. Oh, so this is good for decorating around armholes, around necklines, or around hems of
It's all about the cuffs this year, isn't it?
Oh, cuffs.
So it's all about the cuffs as well. So you get a real sort of stretch and flute.
Fluted effect on it. Now, if you stretched it even more...
you'd get an even
you'd
more...
get even more of a flute.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't think she means your shirt cuffs, Timothy. I think she means on dresses and girls' things and T-shirts and everything. Right, OK, so that's jersey. We've done spectrum solid and we've done jersey.
OK.
We've got needle cord here available for sale today.
Yeah.
Oh, you can, come to it when you're ready. Sorry, I thought we...
So I was going to just show one more. With the differential feed,
yes.
OK, the machine can also gather.
Right.
OK? So when I said there's a time to sort of touch the tensions, OK, what we're going to do is turn the differential feed right up to 2.
Yeah.
OK? And we're going to increase the tension on the needles to 7.
Ooh.
Ooh, he says. We're going to disengage. So I've got some... I'll be able to get hold of me, my threads. OK? And we're going to put this through. I really want to do. OK? And it will gather...
Oh, wow.
...through...
So what, that's not the finished gather. You can make it even more gather.
You can then, that's why I disengage. So if you then get hold of your threads, which is your blue and your red, needed to check myself then.
Yeah. So you're only pulling the straight stitch threads, you're not pulling the
lower looper
lower
ones. So if we just need to take those through.
So just pull the 2 straight stitch ones, the blue and the red one.
Yeah. And you can gather that through a little bit tighter if you wanted to.
The thing is, it has enough of a bit of a gather there just to do smocking-y kind of effect.
Yeah.
But then you can really gather it.
So you can really gather through. And when you're doing sort of like a larger area as well, so it'd be great for sort of tutu skirts.
Yeah,
so if you're doing sort of like bridal sort of skirts.
I'm seeing milkmaids.
Like
I'm seeing kind of milkmaid and witches outfits coming out now.
But yeah, so you've got a nice sort of gather through that you can go through on those.
Because yes, that's brilliant. Right. Okay, excellent.
Okay. So so we've got the cord as well.
So I've not seen this before. We're selling this needle cord in the pink. Oh, this one's got a piece missing out. Don't waft the fabric. They said to me, John, because she's cut some out of it. What have I done? Wafted the fabric. This is the pink needle cord that we've got. It's a really lovely fine needle cord. You're not going to be able to see. You know what needle cord is. You're not going to be able to see it on the telly. It's like a very, very fine needle cord, that one. So that comes $4.95 for half a metre of the pink, and it also comes in a chocolate brown. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to edge.
So if you're making a skirt, this would be. You don't need to worry if you know the pattern fits you. You don't need to do any fitting. You can just stitch it and make it all at the same time.
Together.
Yeah.
If you're making and you know that you want sort of like you want to retain your seam allowances.
Yes.
Okay, and you just want to finish. So what I've done is I've taken out the left-hand needle and kept in the right-hand needle.
Right.
This will give you a fine, narrow finish. So I've taken out the thread. Don't ever think that you can take the thread out and leave the 2 needles in. Okay.
Okay.
You've got to take the second needles out.
Why is that then?
It will pierce your fabric, okay, and it won't do your machine any good.
Yes.
All right. So when you're taking the needles out, what's happening is there's one hole that the 2 needles are sitting in.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you loosen the one off and you drop it out, okay, just tighten up
the other one.
The nut again. And again, you might need to sort of like release the other one to get the first one out if it comes to it.
Yes.
Okay. And so, oh, I've still got it on me.
You go and gather.
Yeah. There we go.
So they all go to 3.
3.
For
We'll take it back through. Yeah.
Well, you can hear the difference straight away, can't you? So now, of course, we've still got the colours in. So if you're using a solid... You see, again, if I just had the greys, I'd just use the grey on this. I wouldn't necessarily go and think, oh, I've got to go out and buy a pink one, because you might never make another pink thing in your life, would you?
And like you say, you can mix and match them. It's more than acceptable to sort of like have 2 blacks and a grey.
Yeah, yes,
totally.
Through.
Okay.
The bundle that's on screen at the moment, we're doing a special offer today. The Overlock is £449. But today, you can either get 4 grey threads thrown in for £31.80, or, of course, you can have the blue ones as a free gift, throwing them in as well. Right, OK.
OK. Yeah. So this is now the 3-thread overlock.
Right.
Okay? And this is just literally for finishing.
Right.
Okay.
So you don't have the blue one on, which is the final
the left-hand needle.
Right.
So if I get that other piece that I did earlier.
So you've still got the green one at the bottom.
Back. Yeah.
You've still got the green one at the back, which is the loopy one, low looper, and then on the front here, you've still got the single stitches in the red there because they're holding the loopers together, aren't they? The yellow is the loop, and then you can just see the edge of the green from the other side coming over.
That is sitting on the top. Yeah. So we've lost that blue one, so you can see the difference in the thickness.
Yes. But this one here is only for finishing. Don't try and make a garment using this one, because your actual seam is that blue one there, which is the thing that's holding the main seam together, isn't it?
Yeah. OK, so you would use the right-hand one, this one, for cottons, for your corduroy, for finer fabrics. You can then do a wider one and put your left-hand needle in and take the right one out, which will then give you this 6mm width. So you have a wider finish, and you would use that when you've got working with thicker fabrics or something that's a very loose weave, something that's like a boucle or a wool that's just literally
fall to pieces,
collapses. Yeah.
Okay, so the loopers go all the way to the blue one when you've got the blue line. So it's basically that, but wider. And will encase your fabric more. Like you say, if it's a boucle, it's also going to fray away into nothing.
That's it.
Okay, now could you use all 4 needles and sew your skirt together with your corduroy and needle cord and things like that?
Yes, you could.
Does so much, doesn't it?
It really does,
What else?
Okay. Have we got a pair of scissors here at all, John?
Oh, what, big scissors or little scissors?
Yeah, big scissors.
Amy, you've got some big scissors there, please. I'll get Amy just to run in with some. Amy, got those scissors? Yeah, well done.
Oh, yep, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
Don't forget, you buy all the 4 different coloured threads for £31.80. Just look at the website underneath us there. Right.
Okay, so if we do corners. Okay, that's not very good.
We're doing a corner now.
Okay, so we're going to go around that piece, okay, without taking it off at all.
Yes.
All right? So we're going to start at the one edge. And
so now, how many needles have you got in here?
I've got the one needle. Yeah.
And so there's no blue thread in this one.
That's right. And I'm just keeping the edge of the fabric on the straight edge.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is when I come to the end, I'm just going to work it through till the needle comes. Now, normally, to turn a corner on a sewing machine, we'd leave the needle in and pivot it round, okay? But we can't on this one because you've got this, the stitch finger, it's called, inside. It's like a little triangular piece of metal where the threads are being wrapped. The bottom one's obviously underneath, the upper loopers on the top, and the stitches are holding it together.
Yeah.
We need to actually pull the stitches off that stitch needle. Yeah. So with the needle up, lift your presser foot up and slide back just a little bit. Turn it around. Place the presser foot back down. Just tighten up your needles again. Yeah. And we're ready to go. Okay. But we're coming towards this L shape.
Okay, just move the other hand out of the way just so we can see there. So we're coming down here and we're going to go. So we've sort of pivoted, but the needle wasn't in, your needle was out.
We just slid it and we're off to go. Now, if I was to start going through on there, obviously the blade is before the needle. Okay, so as we approach there, we're going to result in cutting into the fabric.
Which you don't want.
Which we don't want. So what we're going to do is as we go along and we're approaching, we pinch the fabric together to create a bit of a dart.
Right, got it.
Okay, and we straighten out that line.
Yeah.
Okay. And go straight over the top.
So it doesn't sew the dart in then?
No, and you'll get a nice curve. So again, I'm just going to take that to the edge. Yeah. Right till the last one. Needle's in the upper position. Yeah. Press a foot up, slide off the stitch finger. Place it back into position, tighten up the threads, and off we go again. And you continue to do that all the way around.
So it's every time you come to a corner you do, so whether it's a outside edge or an inside edge. It's the same technique, isn't it?
Well, an outside you will be doing that, and an inside one you'll create your dart. Okay. So once that's pressed through, you've then got, so I've creased the fabric, you've got it edged all the way round.
So I imagine it's brilliant when you have to, because the amount of times you do curved seams on like princess seams and things like that, which on a sewing machine they could be this way because you're taking away the
bulk of it,
and the seam allowance and everything. It's going to sit
nice
so
and flat.
smoothly.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, there's those very unusual, like when they make geometric bodycon dresses, you have all those weird
shapes
and with a stretch fabric and everything.
Yeah, I think when I did a few weeks, when we did the Gertie blouse with the wide diamond open, you can do it through on
months
those.
Ago now. That wasn't weeks ago.
It's quite good, sort of like on a fly front as well.
Yes, yeah.
When you're going around the crotch of the pants, and then you've got your fly frontage, through. Okay. You can then get that out of the way.
Exactly.
And neaten everything together.
And then what about Diana's question earlier about when you go rounding an armhole, when you get round a circular seam, what do you do when you meet the stitches from before?
OK, so...
How long have we got, sorry?
10 minutes.
Oh, OK, we've got time.
OK, so let's mimic...
Throwing all these things at you now.
Yeah. Not sure how this is going to... So if I just sew, obviously I'm on a 3. So it's not going to hold it, but it'll for this purpose. OK. So I've got this little opening through here. OK. Take off that edge. So we disengage the threads. We can place that underneath.
Right, so this is like a mini armhole.
OK. So I'm sunk the needle down.
Yeah.
It is really mini.
You've done it really slowly.
OK, so we're just going to work round in small increments, just so you can...
But it shows you can control it, you can go slowly.
And you can work on small areas. I can cut off my longer threads. And people will sort of say, well, how do you finish threads off?
Yes.
You can, if it's going to be in an interlocking seam, you can just cut them straight off because something else will go over the top of it. If it's going to be a loose one that could unravel, you can either thread it onto a large-eyed needle and thread it down the back of the lower looper.
All four threads?
Yeah, just
put them through the green.
Yeah, and then just snip off so they're sat underneath. Yeah. Or a dab at fray check.
Oh, OK.
OK. So I'm just now coming towards that edge. OK. And I'm just careful that my blade is just alongside.
Yeah.
You can even just hand turn the last couple.
Right.
If you want to. And then up, crank back, slide out. OK.
So you've literally just run over...
Yeah, just by 1 or 2 stitches, and then it just butts up next to it.
See, because I used to just go round and then continue over the bit that I'd already done, you know what I mean? Just a couple, well, not even a couple of inches, an inch or so. So if you're putting 2 things together... hang on, that just threw me then. If you are doing a circular seam, you've started there, go all the way around, I'd just run over by an inch.
And then you could sort of slide off.
And then slide off sideways, like you do with the binding or something like that.
So you can just sort of slide it off. But sometimes you'll end up with this like entrail of like sort of loopy stitches. So by doing this, you're just getting it right close to it and it finishes it off really nice and neat.
OK, so now... For £449, we've got to finish in a minute. Was there anything else you wanted to say very quickly?
Oh, I was going to do rolled hem, but never mind.
Never mind, we'll do rolled hem next time. When you get the machine, right, so for £449, first of all, when I first saw this overlocker for £449, I was amazed at how good the quality is and how fantastic the price is. Now, today... If you buy the overlocking machine, you automatically get 4 threads, 4,000 metres free with it. You can either choose the grey one there, which is BUGC77, saving £31.80, or... Oh, hang on, you've swapped without me noticing it. Or you can do the navy one, JYGC77. You get 4 threads for free. Right? So when you get the overlocking machine, you get the machine, you get the 4 threads. You also get a fantastic pamphlet, not pamphlet, it's a book, a whole book about how to use it. All the things you should need, needles, little brush, these fantastic things, which are like little hair nets that go over the top of...
Feet cones, yeah.
OK, that's all the technical features there. This thing's like a little hair net, which goes over the top of your thread so they don't ever tangle, another thing for not tangling. What was that thing you got earlier, the spreader?
Yeah.
And all the screwdrivers, a little bit of oil spanner, everything. You get all of that for £449. You also have Elna's guarantee. You also have Elna, there's a phone number you can ring Elna. So if you've got any questions, you could just ring them and sort it all out. I just think they're absolutely brilliant machines. You're coming back in an hour's time, but not using an overlocker in an hour's time.
No, unfortunately.
Making a bag. Surprise, surprise. Every time Amanda comes on, she's making a huge tote bag. But the fabric she's using, two of the fabrics she's using are that, we call it pleather.
Like PU.
But it's PU coming up. Jane's up next with the most gorgeous rainbow quilt. Don't go anywhere. We will see you from here in 3 minutes from now. Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do a ladder stitch. Now this is a great stitch when you want to sew something up and create an invisible stitch. And first of all, I'm just going to use the example of something like a pincushion, but I need to bring these two edges together using the invisible stitch, which is known as the ladder stitch. So first of all, I'm going to take my needle up through the fold. So I'm going to be concealing the knot in the thread. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle in through the fold of the fabric and come out. So you can see that I'm on the actual fold there. So obviously there's the raw edges are inside my pincushion. I'm going to take that through. Now I'm going to go to the opposite side and repeat that stitch. So I want to make sure that this is parallel. So I'm going to come in through that fold and come out. So again, I'm making these stitches really big so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see how I'm going across the whole of the fabric. So if I just keep doing a few stitches. So as you can see, we have the ladder stitch there going across the two pieces of fabric. So when I pull my thread, you can see that almost makes those stitches invisible.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99. Join us on Wednesday the 13th of September for a colourful Hexy happy hour with guest Victoria Peat. English paper piecing dab hand Victoria lets no piece of fabric go to waste. With her steady hand and her keen eye for colour, she turns her offcuts into gorgeous EPP creations. Well, now we've armed Victoria with a stack of hexes and some of our finest fabrics, including prints from the popular Botanica range, as well as some gems from Tilda's Harvest collection. Alongside host Natasha McCarty, she'll bring you an EPP demonstration that's bound to give you the piecing bug. So tune in at 9 AM on Wednesday the 13th of September for an hour of Hexy fun with Victoria Peat. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. Wait till you see this quilt. Wait till you see this gorgeous rainbow quilt. I'll show you a picture of it. Oh, it's fabulous. Isn't it gorgeous? Looks like hard work, doesn't it? Right, what we've done is we've created 4 bundles for you to make that quilt, including the backing and everything. Well, not everything, the fabric and the backing. Right, the first one is on the left. Oh, this one is called sorbet. So what you get in this, no. Well, that's the sorbet one, the one we haven't got. This is Kate Spain. Sorry about this, everybody. The Camille and the Bonnie and the Camille one is the one that Jane's made it out of. So ignore that for the time being. We've had so many issues this morning, I can't tell you. So the first one I've got is Kate Spain. This is called the Rainbow's End. So what you get here is you get the Kate Spain Fat Quarter by Moda. 12 pieces of fabric. Now, yesterday we had some issues about people complaining that I didn't show all the fabric. So I'm going to do all of this to begin with so you know everything. In that fat quarter, you get all these gorgeous colours here. You get all the... I'm only showing you now because people were saying yesterday... Oh, there's a piece of paper in the middle of that one. People were saying yesterday they didn't get to see the fat quarter. So you get all of these, 12 pieces, beautiful. You only need 10 for the quilt. You only need 10 of them for the quilt. So you get all of those colours. This is called Rainbow's End. So this is Kate Spain. So you get that fat quarter. You get the green thread. Now, the green backing here, you get 3.5 metres of that one. And then 1.5 metres of the optical white and 0.5 metre of the magenta. So that is that bundle. So 5.5 metres in total, plus the fat quarter, plus the thread for £77.45. OK? Now we'll move on to the next one, which is... my glasses. Sweetwater. Sweetwater, this one is. And it's... What do they call this one? Evening Rainbow Bundle, this one's called. So again, I'll get out the fat quarter for you here. You get the 12 fat quarters in there. Now, I know what it is they gave each of the designers the full range and said, choose the 12 that you like. So each of them have got different names. So some of them you'll see the same colours over, you know, chosen more than once sort of thing. But so this one, you get the fat quarter, 12 pieces. But again, you only need 10 of them. So you could discard the white one if you wanted, and either a grey or a black or something like that. It's up to you. You also then get, with that one, you then get 3.5 metres of the dark blue, 1.5 metres of antique white, and 0.5 metre of bright orange, plus the navy thread, for 77... You're getting an awful lot of fabric. £77.45. And then last but not least... We've got a Zen Chic, this one. It's called Electric Rainbow, this one. Let me show you the fat quarter. So this one's got the pinks and the oranges and the limes and the blues and the turquoises in it. So in this one, you get that fat quarter, which is the Zen Chic fat quarter. You also get 3.5 metres of claret, 1.5 metres of vanilla, and 0.5 metre of turquoise, plus the claret thread. Now, we also have another bundle, which I don't have here with me, but it is the one that Jane has made the one out of. So you saw at the beginning, that's what you see. So that fat quarter is called Bonnie and Camille, which I don't actually have here. But if you love those colourways, and we'll ask Jane what the two missing colours are, because you get 12 fabrics, but you only use 10 of them. So I think she said in prep this morning that she dropped a white and a grey. Yes. So you also get a white and a grey. But then you get these three. You get these fabrics with it. It's the same as the first one. So you get these 3 fabrics with it. You get 3.5 metres of the green, 1.5 metres of the white, and 0.5 metre of the pink. You get all of that. I think we've got a still of that bundle together. There it is, there it is, there it is. So I'm sorry you can't get to see that one, but because it's going to be behind Jane and I the whole time, you'll be able to see the colours. Right. So, Jane, it's gorgeous. Isn't it? Lovely.
It's lovely.
So now, Oh, no, it came from the book, didn't it? It came from the book. Yes. I'll show you that in a second, by bundle. All of those colours, each one of those is a fat quarter, isn't it?
Yes,
that you had in the bundle.
Right. Yep.
And you also had a white fat quarter and a grey fat quarter, which you didn't use at all, because you only need the 10.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you've got the white that we've just shown you.
Yes.
The pink is the border, and then the green is the background, which is the backing, which is gorgeous. I mean, just fantastic. But it does look complicated. So I need you to tell us... What page is it? Page 60 in here?
60, I think, yeah.
I need to put my glasses on. It's called the Rainbow Quilt, isn't it, this one?
Rainbow Pyramids, I think.
Rainbow Pyramids, there it is. I love this book because they've done the photographs in the most exquisite locations. So it's this is the book. Right? This is the pattern within the book. Rainbow Pyramids. There's the finished thing. Here's it. Now, but it's got... Now, there's no instructions there. Are there instructions at the back, then?
There must be, because I had instructions that were photocopied from...
There they all are. So what it is, it's basically a coffee table book at the beginning with all the most exquisite pictures. Oh, it's got the details there. And then the rainbow... Oh, there it is. I just missed the page. Then all the instructions. So that there is a fat quarter, isn't it?
Yes.
And so it gives you the cutting instructions for fat quarters and how to put the whole lot together. Oh, because there's sashing as well in it there, I see. Yeah, like there's panels between each of the blocks, aren't there? Yeah. So, let's have a look then. So this is a block, yeah?
That's the block.
That's classed as one block. So you make 4...
Out of each
fabric. Of each of those, out of each fabric.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Off you go. Oh, my word.
So, as you said in the book,
yes,
there's a lovely cutting diagram for your fat quarter. Now, these are American fat quarters, so they're 18 inches by 21.
OK.
Just be aware of that, because when you buy them in the British shops, they're metric fat
or European.
quarters.
Yeah, so basically, it's just... I mean, I'm sure all of you know this, but I don't want to teach... I'm teaching my grandmother, it's okay. A fat quarter is where you take... In Europe, you take a metre of fabric, but in America, you take a yard of fabric.
That's right.
You cut it in half that way, and then you cut it in half that way, and that's a fat quarter, that's a fat quarter, that's a fat quarter, that's a fat quarter. So in America, which these are, they're slightly smaller than if you bought them in Britain or Europe.
That's right.
Right. So you really, really are cutting this to the... Be really, really careful with
you
the
can
precision
see
cutting.
there's not much room.
So this is what's wasted, just this bit round the edge.
This is wastage, that bit.
Oh, those two as well?
Yeah,
okay.
but they're not quite.
Yeah.
And do be careful, because I was just doing some prep before I came on, and I was going to do it in the other pink fabric, and I cut these squares wrong. So if you cut it...
Who was disturbing you?
Nobody, it was just me. I wasn't concentrating properly. I thought I knew, and I didn't.
Oh, OK.
So just take your time and make sure you cut them. I've done it slightly differently from the diagram.
Oh, controversial.
Just because the way I cut a strip of... Because you need 4 7-inch squares. I cut a strip of 7, and then I did the 2.5. You can see there that they've cut...
Oh, they did theirs in an L shape?
Yeah. Which when I looked at it, I thought, well, that doesn't quite work. So I cut...
Do you know what I'd be tempted to do? Is cut a piece of paper the size of my fat quarter, because you're going to have to cut this for every single colour, aren't you?
Yes.
So I'd be tempted to draw it on a piece of paper, cut the pieces out, and then put it on... I know then it's going to fit on the fat quarter. Because it'd be dreadful if you thought, oh, I'll do it like this, and then it didn't work. You've messed up your fat quarter.
That's right, yeah.
OK.
So what I did when I was cutting it, I looked at the bundle of fabric, and I took out the 2 that I thought wouldn't work. And in the bundle I was given for that one, there was a pale grey like this one and a white. And obviously the white wouldn't work on the white, and I thought the pale grey didn't scan with the rainbow colours. So take out the 2 that you don't want.
Right.
And take your...
So which one are you using the electric... You're doing the electric rainbow
this
now,
is
aren't
the...
you? Is this the electric rainbow?
This is the Zen Chic one.
Yes, the electric rainbow one, yeah. OK.
So...
I'll go through all the colours again with you in a minute. Yeah.
The fat quarters, when you open them out, they're quite creased.
Right.
So you might find it better to use a bit of steam on your iron just to get...
Oh, yes.
And I recommend that you spray starch it as well before you start cutting.
OK.
Because it just gives it a bit more rigidity, and you're going to be doing half-square triangles. So
2 tips in the first...
it just makes it a bit easier to do. And what I did do is I did the stack and whack method.
The pardon?
So if you don't know...
Hang on, are we allowed to say that?
Stack and whack. You layer up the fat quarters.
How many did you put together?
You can do 4.
Oh, I'd be terrified.
Well, you do need a very sharp blade in your rotary.
Yes.
So I put a brand new blade in my rotary cutter, and just take your time. But it does save time.
Of course.
You can cut 4 in one go.
Of course it does.
So...
now, also, I've also got to point out that we've gone to a lot... Not we. Buyers have worked in conjunction with Moda to be able to get... because these are American fat quarters, and normally it's very difficult to be able to get them into the country, and they've done a really, really good job getting them into the country for us for the show. OK. OK.
So once you've cut all your squares, and you need, from your background fabric...
Which is a cream in this one.
In this one.
Like,
all the instructions are in the pattern, obviously. You need 5 1/4-inch squares and 3 3/4-inch squares.
Right.
OK.
So this and this, that and that.
and all of that.
And all of that can go in my stash box.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to just show you how to make one block. So I just need one of those.
So hang on. So this is enough to make all four of those in that colourway.
That's
of course
right.
it is, yeah.
So I'm going to need that and that and one of those.
Only one of those?
Yeah. You don't actually need that to make the block. That's your sashing strip.
Yes, but we'll explain what that is afterwards. Yeah.
So I'm going to just put that
So,
to one side
so it's
for now.
something very simple, Nicola.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not as complicated as you then think.
Right.
You need 2 of your cream or background.
Yes.
3 3/4
So it's either
squares.
cream or white. In any of the 4 bundles, it's either a cream or a white, isn't it?
Yeah, and 1
The
of
big
your
ones.
5 1/4 inch square.
Right.
Okay. So you take your 5 1/4 inch square.
Yes.
We're going to use the rotating cutting mat again.
Oh, I didn't know that was there.
I hid it away.
Okay.
Because you want to cut through the diagonal on both diagonals.
Pardon?
On both diagonals.
Say that again.
Through the diagonal on both diagonals.
Cutting it.
Yes.
So you're not drawing. Oh, we've got.
No.
Did Amy give you a new pen? By the
She
way?
did.
Okay.
So we're just cutting it. So
no. Okay.
no marking.
Go on then.
So one diagonal.
Turn the rotating cutting mat.
Cutting
Now,
mat.
the rotating cutting mat's £32.95. Put it on your Christmas list, but buy it now. We only had a few earlier, so please be careful if you want this.
Take your time. Make sure you cut them quite accurately.
Yes.
Because it will help when you're joining them.
Yes, don't we know it? Okay, so you've
Okay.
just cut that bigger cream square into 4 equal triangles.
Now you might be thinking, well, they're half square triangles, so why do you need to do it in quarter squares?
Yes.
It's all to do with the straight edge
Right, okay.
on the end of your block.
Right.
It'll come clear towards the end.
Will it?
You don't need all 4 of those. You just need 3 of them.
Right.
So you put that one away, ready for your next
Project.
your next block, because of with how it works, because you'll get 12 altogether.
We'll see.
You
We'll
only
see.
use 3 in each block. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are to one side, and we've got that one.
Right.
This one you need to cut just in half across the one diagonal.
I met some friends of yours, by the way, at the festival. I haven't seen you since Festival of Quilts, have I?
Oh, I know. Yes, you met my friend Tracy, who helps at the shop.
Who had her 50th birthday.
Yes,
And she had an orange and chocolate birthday cake.
she did. Yeah.
And I said, why isn't Jane here? And they went, oh, she doesn't like crowds. She doesn't like lots of people. And I said, they said she's very shy. And I said, she goes on telly in front of millions of people every month. And they were like, oh, we don't know how she does it. She's brilliant. She's just brilliant. Anyway, so we've cut that one in half as well.
Yeah.
She had, there were 2 of them. There was like, was it a daughter, the other one? The one with the tattoos and the coloured hair?
Yes, that's Ashley. Yes, she helps me in the shop sometimes as well.
She was very excited about some of the kits she bought at Festival of Quilts, actually.
Yes.
Like, overexcited.
She loves what she does, and she's made some beautiful quilts.
Oh, well, Ashley has.
Yeah.
She's only young, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, yeah.
Not that that's got anything to do with making quilts. Right, sorry, we'll carry on.
We're going to mark the diagonal across the cream background fabric.
Oh, it's as
No,
bad as the
just
last
this one.
pen.
Let's use the trio marker.
Oh, now, look, we've got this. It's a trio of markers within one.
You've got a white.
You've got a white lead, a black lead, and you've got like a ballpoint that you can use with tracing papers and things like that.
Yeah, I'm going to use a dark one.
Are you all right?
It's like a propelling pencil.
Just like a propelling pencil, yeah.
Very nice.
I'm going to put that one. Let me take that away so nobody else gets that one. It's £10.95, that for 3 markers.
So, yeah, again, as I said before, marking from the middle outwards so
Yes.
that not to stretch the fabric.
Yeah, because you are drawing across the bias, aren't you, really?
Yeah. Yes, Tracy sent me a picture of you and her.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she said, look, who I've met.
Oh.
And I-
She didn't bring a piece of birthday cake or anything.
No, I didn't get a piece.
Oh, didn't you? They were so busy. They showed me the outside and the inside of the cake. I was thinking they'd brought some. Because Lorraine brought me cake. Another lady brought me cookies.
Lovely.
Anyway.
Right, so we're placing the cream square on top of the blue square.
Right, okay.
Okay, or your coloured square, whichever.
We've been giving you a lot of triangles to do today, haven't
Yes. So we're going to do 1/4 inch either side of the
Of the line.
Of the line.
Like we did last time.
Yeah, just exactly the same.
Glasses on. Oh, you can't see that at home.
I'll just chain piece these just to...
Jane's got a special event coming up next month. You've had your shop for 5 years, haven't you?
Yeah, in November.
Is that not next month? Oh, no, month after.
It's only October next month.
It's only September today, isn't it? Getting confused.
It feels very
It's because we get our rotas a month ahead, so I've just told them what days I want off in November. So it's
Yes, yeah.
So in November, you'll see a lot of people then, Tosh Sharp.
Are you still able to come and do the raffle for us?
I am. That'll be in the afternoon. I have to come straight from here,
Yeah,
if that's all right.
that's all right. I think we're going to schedule to draw the raffle at 3.
Oh, that'd be perfect then. So I'll arrive, have a cup of tea, say hello, draw the raffle.
Yeah.
I saw a turn.
Help take all the quilts down and give them...
No, I'm not doing any of that. Don't do that. I'll bring someone with me to do that.
So then we're going to cut through the diagonal line that we've marked.
Oh. So if somebody wins the quilt, or no, when somebody wins the quilt...
Yes.
Say little Paul wins it, right?
Yes.
I've paid for his ticket. Do I get to keep it, or does he get to keep it?
Well, that's up to you and Paul.
Oh, I thought
I'm not going to get involved in that.
You could be the...
Right, we need to press these open.
He watches Judge Rinder all the time because he bases himself on Judge Rinder. Judge Rinder's got the same denim jacket as him.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh, do you need the iron?
Yes, please.
There's no written contract, but I just won't tell you. So if I win, I'll just take it home. Okay.
So we're going to press those to the dark side.
You're going to press all 4 of those?
Yeah. We won't need all 4. Again, we only need 3.
Oh, 3. You only need 3 of those. So that one can go over there with that one.
Ready for the next block. Because you use all of them within the block.
Oh, I see. So you've cut... Oh, no, hang on. You cut 4 of the big squares.
Yeah.
So what you do is, the one that's left over from each of these makes the final one. Is that what happens?
That's right.
So don't lose those. Once you put
No,
them
you
on
need
side,
to keep...
don't throw them in your basket.
No, you need to keep them safe. They're all used. They're all used within the...
Yes. Well, so it really is using every inch of the fabric, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What you're going to do, I just need to refer to the diagram because I kept getting it upside down when I was doing it.
You're not plugging yourself very well today, are you?
No.
Telling us about all your weaknesses.
Well, I think it's good that people
We're just setting them out, then I'll get the book out.
I think it's good that people know that, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect.
Yeah, some more than others. Little Paul, he's rarely wrong, apparently. So in his mind. Right, hang on, where was it? Page 60, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so in the book here, so that's where we've made our half square triangles there. Then this is what you're doing now, isn't it? Laying them out.
Yeah, this is the layout.
This is the layout for them on the side there. Okay, and then obviously, so we're laying the beginning of the layout, and then that will have to lay out the whole block. So, yeah.
What I'm going to do is...
Right, hang on a sec, Jane.
sorry.
The Evening Rainbow... No, don't apologise. The Evening Rainbow bundle, which is that one there. Oh, there's only 2 left. There's only 2 left. I'll go over in a minute and I'll go through the bundles again with you. There's only 2 of those left. Blimey. 1p all day, so buy an overlocker, buy that. £2.95 postage packaging. OK, right. So you've laid out the squares and the triangles.
Yeah. I'm just going to use one of these little square rulers because it will make it easier to get rid of these tails on here.
Right.
So one of these little... This is a 3.5-inch square, which is the size of your block.
Oh, wow.
It's perfect because... I think my seam allowance is a bit wide today because that isn't quite 3.5. But it's helpful just to trim off your ears, if you like.
Not your ears, obviously.
No, just the ears of your block. So you've got nice...
So have we got that ruler in stock then?
It's also a good way just to make sure that you've got your
line in
your
the right
square
place,
is square and everything like that. Because if it's not square, you can just trim it you know, you can trim it down. If it's not big enough, like mine, you just have to remember that your seam allowance is going to have to be scant.
Scant.
But if then
there's the little ruler, £7.95. Rachel,
but if your seam allowance is the same throughout, it won't matter because they'll all come out the same size.
Your block will just come out a little bit smaller.
It'll be, but everything will go together.
Yeah.
Because all the seams are the same. So it doesn't, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
So, I'll just check I've got that the right way. It's very easy to get them the wrong way around. So what
did we just lay them out?
Yeah, and I've just moved them around.
Again. All right, then.
So I'm going to sew that one to that, and I'm going to sew that triangle to that one.
Right.
And you can do that chain piece. So right sides together.
Right.
And that one. Now, don't panic and think your triangle's too big.
It's too big?
That's your seam allowance.
All right, then.
Okay.
They were panicking upstairs, Joe. They said, is that one not too big, the one underneath?
It needs to be.
It needs to be, little Paul. You're not listening.
For your seam allowance.
It's all right now. His panic attack's gone.
That's okay. So you've got that one, like that. And if you can...
Yes.
Press your seams in opposite directions.
Right.
So if you press that seam towards the triangle...
Yeah. Does it tell you to do that in the book, or is this you?
I don't think it does. I think this is just me, because I like nestling seams, as you know.
Yeah.
And that helps to nestle the seam.
OK. Now, people will be asking why that's not at the top of the square there.
That's your seam allowance.
OK.
Again, don't worry that you've done it wrong.
Yeah.
It's the seam allowance.
OK, perfect.
OK?
Yeah.
So I've got those two done.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to attach that one onto there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to attach that one onto there.
Ah.
This is just me working in a methodical way.
In a what way?
A methodical. Can't say it this morning.
Yeah.
Just so that I'm working with one seam when I join it all together.
Right.
I was just trying to work out the quickest way of getting it all together, you see, when I was making it.
You have to rush on. You're not even halfway through the show yet.
No, for me, when I was making the whole thing.
Oh, me then. I'm taking my thoughts into consideration then. It's nice to see you use that little ruler. I've not seen that little ruler before, I don't think.
They're really handy when they're like that.
Rachel the ruler as well. She's very clever, isn't she, Rachel the ruler?
She is.
Creative grids.
Brilliant.
I'll have a look again. We've done that now. We won't be using it again, but I'll do that, show you again later.
So press that one down.
Yeah.
Like that, and press that one.
All right, I'm going to let you press... No, because there's one more to put them together, isn't there?
So we're going to put them... That one. I'm going to sew that to there.
OK, I'll let you do that.
And because we pressed that seam in opposite directions, we can nestle that, just so that we know that we've got that part lined up.
Yeah. Because we're running... because the middle one is almost sold out. I'm going to go over in a second. When Jane's done this, I'll go over the top and I'll go through all of the bundles and all of the fat quarters with you. We can decide which one.
I'm just going to show this little bit as well. This is another little sort of hint, trick, tip, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
I don't know if you can see that cross on there where the two seams, the stitch lines cross over.
Yeah.
If you sort of treat that as an X that marks the spot, you can make sure that your seam line goes on the inside of that so that you don't lose the points of your triangle.
Okay.
It might not be...
So you were about to stitch it, then you suddenly remembered and came across to tell me that?
Yes. It's just a little sort of marker so that you can see that you're in the seam allowance, really, and you don't going to lose a point of your triangle.
No. Well, no, because if you lose the point... It's all very well saying, oh, we'll just be scant. And if you lose the corner of the triangle, you lose the whole
You lose the effect of it, yeah.
It'll be pointless, yeah?
Yeah. So you can see there, I don't know if you can see, I've just hit that.
Yeah.
Isn't quite matched up the way it should do. Probably because I didn't press it, I finger pressed it.
Yeah.
But the effect is there.
Yeah. We used to sell earrings like that, didn't we, Paul? Right, well, you press it, you give it a press, and I'm going to go through the fabrics. But listen to what I'm saying, because I might ask your opinion as I'm going through it, right? Right. 4 different bundles. The middle one here. There's only 2 of these left. Oh, hang on, we're just going to check. Right, in fact, once everyone checks out, there's 1 left. There's 1 left, but let me go through the fat quarter with you. There's only 1 left. Let me tell you, before I do the fat quarter, yeah, once everyone's checked out, there's 1 left. So, you get 3.5 metres of the blue, 1.5 metres of the antique white, and 0.5 metre of the bright orange. You get the thread, and you get the fat quarter. Now, let's go through the fat quarter in this one. And we can decide which 2 we're going to dump, because you don't need all of them. It's a bit like, what's that... Oh, no, you don't dump them. Don't throw them away. You keep them in your stash. It's like, I was going to say that quiz show, but then I suddenly realised it involves naked people. I thought, I better not say that quiz show, had I? Yes. So, in the first round, which box would you get rid of first? Yeah, look, I'm so colours, this one. Not that I watch it, it's just on the telly when I walk in on a Monday night at 9:45, whatever time it is. Right, so we'd get rid of this one, I think, because you wouldn't want that optical... Do you agree? Yeah,
you wouldn't get the effect, would you, if you had the same colour as your background? OK,
so that one's gone. Now, you said you'd get rid of the black one, did you, out of this one? Or did we not discuss this?
I don't know if we did discuss that one.
I'm going to actually do it like we're making the quilts. So put them in the... Let's have a look. If you did them in the order... that maybe you do it. Right, on this one, you do need to check out your baskets. OK, right, hang on. Oh, no, that needs to end up with that one, I think. Would you do that? Would you do that? Would you do it that order?
I might take the green one out.
And put it where?
Just, that would be the one I took out.
Oh, no. Oh, what? You'd keep... Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, yes, one's got to go.
I think
now that's controversial. So Jane would get rid of the green one.
You see how the colours flow? Or maybe the navy... Yeah.
Right, hang on then, hang on. So Jane would get rid of the green. I would get rid of... Oh, I might actually have to agree with it, even though I love that green. Oh, yeah, I'm have to agree with you. So let's get rid of those. Right, Michael would get rid of the red one. Timothy would get rid of the grey one, the middle grey one. I think that's quite nice. And little Paul would put the navy blue there. Paul, is that what you said? It's gone. You just said you'd move the blue one. You did. Oh, no, didn't he just say it? Oh, OK, hang on. He put the black one at the other end. That was the black one. Right, OK, anyway, that one's all gone now. That one's all gone, so I'm putting it away. Yeah, you need to check out your basket. You need to check out your baskets. So put that there, that goes there. Right, so let's go through the other 3 bundles that are left. We'll do the same with all of them. Right, this is the most popular one now. This is called the electric. So you get the Zen Chic bundle. Not cheeky, chic, you know, as in, well, little Paul wouldn't know. Zen as in peaceful, chic as in nice. Or what were they called? Freak out. Freak out. Remember? Chic, freak out. No? No, freak. Says chic. Anyway, you get 3.5 metres. Yeah, all right. Michael said, show the fabric, John. 3.5 metres of the claret, 1.5 metres of the cream, and 0.5 metre of vanilla, 0.5 metre of the turquoise. You get the claret thread, and then you get, obviously, you get that fat quarter. But let's do the same as we did with this one, then. So now, I'd automatically get rid of the white one. So, I don't know which order. I might take the pinks. Chat amongst yourselves while I do this. Right, hang on. Right, OK, so which is the... Oh, hang on. There we go. So now, which of the other one would you get rid of there, Jane?
The Orange, I think.
You get rid of the orange.
Yeah.
Little Paul, which one would you get rid of? Orange. Timothy?
Green.
That's blue. Right? Okay, so they're all so well let's dump that one then. You could use it at home, whichever way you want, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't get rid of the
No, I
orange.
don't think I would get rid of the orange. I think I'd get rid of that pale grey against the pink. The pale one, because it's doesn't give much contrast.
Yes, that's what I'd go with as well. That's how I'd do it as well. It's nice, isn't it? So you can, I mean, the thing is, at home, you can do it however you want to do it. There's no rules or anything. But all that fabric and the thread for £77 and 45 pence. You get 5.5 metres of fabric plus the fat quarter. Right, okay, put that back there. Then this is the other one. This is the one. This is just one. Yes, this is just one. Of course, I'm not going to do this with all 4 of them now, am I? That's the problem. This is Rainbow's End. So you get 3.5 metres of the green. You get 1.5 metres of the white, 0.5 metre of the pink, green thread, and that fat quarter bundle. So let's do the same thing again with this fat quarter. I'll be back with you in a minute, Jen, I promise. The what? This is Kate Spain, this one, this fat quarter's called. I'll put them all out now, because I don't think there's a white one in this one, is there? Let's have a look. I'll just put them in the order they've put them in and see which one you'd get rid of. Ooh, nice colours, lovely colours in this one. What the designers did was they all chose the colours that they like. Now, we need to get rid of 2 of those. So Paul will get rid of the grey one.
Yeah, I'd get rid of the grey.
OK, little Paul gets rid of the grey, and Jane agrees. Now, which is the other one you're going to get rid of, then?
Maybe that middle pink colour.
Oh, now, you're thinking that pink.
No, the one.
That one?
No.
That one?
Yeah. Because it's quite similar. So it gives you a good sort of light, dark, dark.
Oh, yes. I'd get rid of that one, you see.
Yeah, that works.
That works. So, Jane, you're outnumbered.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So you only need to use 10 of them, you see. You only need to use 10 of them. But you can choose. You could choose which one you want to do. A limited. If you've got it in your basket, please check out. Now, the last bundle, I can't do that with, right? The last bundle is to make the one that's behind Jane with all those gorgeous colours. So you also get a white and a grey. You also get a white and a grey, as well as those gorgeous colours there. And then you get these as your other fabrics. You get 3.5 metres of the green grass, 1.5 optical white and 1/2 of magenta, and the thread, and the fat quarter, which would be here. It's called Bonnie and Camille. But we haven't got it. There it is there. They're all running low. They're all very, very popular. Right. Now, you need the book. You'll need the book. You're very quiet with your messages this hour as well. Buy the bundle. It's a fabulous... This book is fabulous, isn't it? What time is it? Oh, right. It's got all these beautiful quilts. They're all photographed in, and look at that location. I can just imagine the picture editor of this going, oh, we have to fly to Tasmania to do these quilts. But what's wrong with the East End of London? No, Tasmania would be much nicer. Mind you, the next catalogue, we used to do the next catalogue in the Caribbean, so I can't complain, can I? Right. Look, there's the one we're doing. Beautiful, beautiful book. £15 and 95 pence. Right, let's carry on. So we've got that far.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
You take these 2 triangles and you sew them onto there.
OK.
One at a time.
Now, there must be... I was going to say there's an overlap at the top, isn't there? They don't...
Yes. So, when you bring your square, you're going to sew them one at a time.
Yes.
When you bring your triangle, you're lining it up with the bottom of your...
Whose bottom?
The bottom of this.
Oh, OK.
Not your bottom.
Oh, be here for hours. OK.
So you're going to line that up. So that's your 1/4 of an inch up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a lot of sewing to do if you're going to make all those blocks in the next 20 minutes. You want to do what? Yeah. On another finished quilt, please, because Paul says it's going on the back of the sofa.
Oh, right, OK.
That's
So,
if he doesn't win the one at your shop, you know.
again,
Do we know what yours looks like, the one in your shop that we're going to win?
I've got photos of it on my
OK.
phone. It's on my Facebook page.
Oh, is it? I'll go and have a look at it then. See if we won it.
On the Corner Patch Facebook page,
Did you
not
make
my
it,
personal one. Not just me. The lady, we have a group that meets on a Friday morning, a So Social group.
Oh, yes.
Do a lot of chatting more than sewing.
Yeah, I can tell.
and we do. We all had a hand in it. We all did cutting the pieces, and we all did a bit of the block and made it all together. And then I went to Amanda.
Oh, your friend with the machine.
With the long arm quilting machine, and she's teaching me how to long arm quilt.
Oh, you've got to buy the machine first, haven't you? You have to build a shed to put it in first, don't you?
To win the lottery first.
Yes. Yeah, because they're the ones that cost like thousands, aren't they?
The price of a car, really, if you want, the full computerised.
Paul's car was only £400, wasn't it, Paul?
Again, what I did was I sewed on this side because you've got these marker points,
of course,
to keep your points in. Chris Francis, that teaches at the shop, she always says, sew on the side with the most information.
Yes, I agree. He had a Cougar before he had this car. When we went before, he used to come in these Cougar. No, this Cougar's a car. And they loved that car. And someone else has got a done-up version of his tatty one. And I used to go to work thinking, blimey, Paul's cleaned his car. It wasn't even the same car.
So that's the block. And
then you've got the of course, you've got the seam mats there.
And what you can do is you can just put your 1/4 inch mark on the point there.
Yeah.
And just take the tails off.
Yeah. Okay, so that's your block.
Yeah.
So you'd make 4 of each colour.
Yes.
So it's 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So you've made 40 blocks in the different colours.
Yes.
And then how would you then construct it after that?
You've then got what is the sashing piece that goes between.
Oh yes. So that's here. That's
that rectangle here.
So there's only 3 of those. Obviously, you don't have them at the end. So So do you create the whole of that row first? Would you create the whole of that row first?
Yes, that's what I did.
Right.
I did it in rows. So what I did is I took 3 of these blocks.
Yes.
And I sewed 1 of these to each side.
Yes.
That left 1, obviously, with no sashing on.
Yeah.
Like that. And then I sewed...
oh, here we go.
Something I prepared earlier.
A Blue Peter moment.
I sewed 2 together.
Right.
So...
Let me just give that a quick...
If you imagine...
Not so much quiet, but in awe. What a beautiful quilt and quilt block, says Pauline.
I'm just going to sew this strip onto the here so I can just explain it a little bit.
Oh, Naomi says there's no sound.
Oh.
Naomi, Naomi, how are you watching it? If there's no sound, she doesn't know what I'm talking about. She said there's no sound. Is everyone else all right with sound?
Oh, no.
Naomi, is it windy in West Yorkshire? I can imagine it's windy there today.
If you can press that for me, thank you. Have I done this right?
Naomi! Just seeing if Naomi's sound's working yet. Sorry, Jane.
I'll get into trouble for that now. Oh, I forgot. Oh, the management meeting's on today. They're all in there. They've all got the... Right, OK.
OK. So if you can imagine, you've got three blocks like that with the 1 sashing strip.
Yes.
And 1 block without.
Yes.
So the 1 block to 1 with the sashing strip on.
Yes.
So you've got 1 with... One with the sashing in between.
Yeah.
And then sew the 2 with the sashing strip together.
What colour would you call this? Damson. What colour would you call this colour? Magenta?
Magenta.
Magenta, maybe. This is what magenta really looks like, not the magenta light they call it. It's definitely not violet, Paul. But Paul is colourblind, so we've given it.
So you can see now...
Make sure you check out your baskets, don't want anyone to miss out.
I've got 1 with 2 sashing strips and 1 with 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll join that to there. I wouldn't sew it along.
Why not?
Because that can give distortion.
Oh, banana.
Yeah.
Your banana shaping, of course. Now, I've got a huge stock warning, apparently. The rotating cutting mat £32.95. I have to rotate it like that. I feel like Fat Boy Slim. Or Fat Boy Flat. Fat Boy Fat in my case. Pete Tong. There's only 3 left. Am I scratching? That's what it's called. It's brilliant. There's only 3 left. You need to check out your baskets. Oh, it's a rotating cutting mat, not a record.
He's no fun, is he?
Pardon?
He's no fun.
Who, me?
No.
No,
Whoever's
Paul,
talking to you.
No fun. No, it's little Paul talking to me. You know that little man you meet in the morning?
Yes.
Well, he goes upstairs and just gives me grief in my ear the whole 4 hours.
So there you are. You've got your row. And you make 10 of those.
OK. So then you'd stitch them in order.
Yeah.
Did you lay yours out beforehand just to make sure you got the order right?
Yes.
Because I wondered why you got the back dark blue at the bottom there.
Because I like the shading,
Yes.
the rainbow.
Yeah.
I know that the blue should be there, but I thought I liked it sort of finished it.
Yes, exactly. The sound is fine in West Sussex. Hanging on your every word. Loving the show, Gillian.
Oh, that's nice.
All right, so you've done the top strip there, and then you stitched them all together.
Yes.
Then you got your batting, I presume.
Yes.
I just happen to have some batting here. It's warm, and it's white, and it's 72 by 90 inches. How big's that? Finish one of those, then.
It was 50...
Well, we know what it'll be.
Yeah, it was 56 or something like that. Block.
She'll work it out. 1995, the warm and white. Well, it wasn't the year you were born, 1995.
Yeah, 15 inches, so that's like...
60.
60.
Oh, no, yeah, 60. Oh, no, is it 60? Because you haven't got 4 of those.
No.
Yeah, I'll look it up in the book for you. I'll look it up in the book for you. So what do you say?
It's about 56.
56.
By
Don't worry,
by 60.
What is what yours is?
Ish.
And then, so you've done the strips together, you laid it out on the wadding, you put the backing behind it.
Yeah.
Which you've got it now. You have to, I presume you have to seam the backing, won't
Yes. Well, I cut 1 3/4 meters, so it's like cutting it in half.
54 by 60 it's meant to be.
Yeah.
When it's finished.
54,
Yeah.
I cut the backing in half, so
Yes.
I got 1 3/4 meters.
Right.
And then the one piece, I cut that down the middle fold, which gave me the width of the fabric and a half width.
Yeah.
So you get all of that half width left over.
Oh, so you got a lot of the backing fabric left over then.
Yeah.
So would there have been enough to do another stripe of the backing fabric, do you think?
Yes, you probably could have done.
You could do another stripe on there if you wanted
yeah,
to, couldn't you?
yeah.
Okay, so then you've just chosen to do tram lines then.
Yes.
Of the quilting. But of course you could do... Oh, hang on, did you do triangles as well?
No, I didn't.
So you've just literally... Let's look at it from the back. You literally did tram lines. Now, you used the green from the bobbin... No, the green thread...
Yeah.
And as your bobbin thread...
That's right.
You used invisible thread on this one, didn't you, on the
Yes.
top? But you could use whatever you wanted, really, couldn't you?
You could, yeah.
The only thing difficulty would be is if you take it through, say you chose to use the green, not that you would, but you can have green lines running through every single colour of that, aren't you?
You could take the colour of your strip and you could follow the triangle.
Oh, you could quilt that way, yes, of course.
Quilt that way, and you could follow...
Yes, so you don't need to do tram lines like you
No.
went through. You could have quilted each of these
Individually.
as separate units.
You know, and
couldn't
you could quilt patterns.
Oh, that's
on the
because you're getting all
triangles
excited with your free arm motion, about free, motion. OK, and then your binding
Yeah.
is the pink, which for regulators is called magenta, but I call that magenta. The pink, you had the pink fabric to bind it.
Yeah.
It's just a straight binding, isn't it, that you've done
Yes.
around the edge?
It's just the 2.5-inch wide strips folded in half and mitered the corners and joined it together.
OK, so now to get the length, you've measured...
I measured...
By then, and how do you finish off the edges of a quilt that big? Because it's an awful lot of quilt to cut edges of, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Once you've quilted it...
Yes.
You've then got to neaten up because you've got your backing and your wadding, which I presume you made a bit bigger than the actual quilt.
Yes, I always have it at least an inch either side. when I'm doing it on my machine. If
Yes.
you were taking it to be long arm quilted, they like 4 inches all the way around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it has to go on a frame and be
Of course.
attached.
So, how do you trim off something that's that big? I've never actually asked that question because we always get to this stage and go, right, you trimmed it off and then... But you've got the whole of that bulk, haven't you?
Yes. You need to have space to lay it out.
Yes.
But you can do it on your ordinary cutting mat.
But now, have we got any of these cutting mats in stock, little Paul? We'll just check now. We'll just check, 'cause this is a nice big cutting mat, isn't it?
Yeah. The ones that I've got in the shop are 23 by 17, so they're not quite as big as
this.
that.
So this would be a good one for something
yeah.
like this. The reason I love this is a lot of people we know, like Lucy included, hasn't got a workroom, so she has to work on the dining room table. And I think having a cutting mat, even if you're not doing any cutting out, I just think a cutting mat like this on your dining room table...
Protects it,
protects it, doesn't it, completely?
It does, yeah.
We're just checking with Paul. OK, graphics will be coming in a second. So, you lay... But then how do you make sure... Because, like we were saying with the rotating mat earlier, you can cut that, or you could turn it that way and you could cut that much, but then you've got to then make sure that the next bit's just as straight as that first bit, isn't it? $39.95, the cutting mat.
If you can imagine that this is the edge of the quilt...
Yes.
So your quilt's sort of like this, all 3 layers, and you're going to have backing and wadding that's sort of sticking out like that.
Yeah.
What I do is I line my ruler up with a seam that I can see. So,
OK.
like this one here, from there to that seam there...
Yeah.
...is... let me just turn the ruler around so I can see it properly. It's 2 1/4 inches.
Right.
So then I would line that up all the way along as my guide.
Okay.
And I wouldn't worry if it was just a little bit in on some bits and touching on others, as long as I'd got at least 1/4 inch underneath, because that's what I take off with my...
But that's how you make sure that it's... Because I was worried that you do that, then you'd move this, you move this through this, and it's so easy thinking, oh, yeah, that's a straight line. But because you've... And also because you've been quite... precise all the way through it, because you say you can measure up from all the seams that are on there already, so you can make sure that it all goes all the way around.
You know, if you've got a border on, a sashing border, whatever you've got on, there'll be some seam somewhere that you can use as a gauge to line up to get a straight edge, straightish edge.
Yeah, of course. And at any point do you, once the batting is in, do you press it again or anything like that?
I tend not to. I know people that do like to.
Yeah, but I quite like the fact that, like, the one on my bed is all not scrumpled, but it's not all neat and tidy. It's all the fabrics all, and I like it when you wash them as well. They just slightly tighten up a little bit, don't they? Really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you use the pink binding to go around the edge.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What we're going to do very quickly is just look through the book, because I've got quite a few minutes left, haven't I? Oh, hang on. OK, let's just go through the book, because I think you could use... Because it's by the bundle, so we're presuming that most of these quilts are made from fat quarters. So I'm just going to go through them and have a look, seeing if we can... all the different versions you could make. So maybe you don't want the pyramid rainbows. Maybe you want different styles. Now, remember, we've got a fat quarter with 12 different colours in it. We've got 3.5 metres of the backing, 1.5 metres of the other background fabric and 0.5 metre of the binding. So I'm sure out of all of these, you see what I mean? You could then, if you didn't want the pyramid one, you could then maybe, that's the high quilt there.
That one would work, wouldn't it? Because it's all different colours.
Yes,
so
exactly.
You could have your H's as one colour at a time and mix it all
up.
Yeah,
use your fat quarter, and then you've still got your cream background fabric and then your green for the backing, or whichever way around you did it. Then we've got the diamonds and squares, which is a really lovely one to do. Again, you could almost do that like a rainbow, do the backing, and then put the cream in the middle of your thing. Your crystal. All of these designs are really, really lovely. They're designed around fat quarters, around you having all different kinds of shades of fabric and things like that. You see there? So easy to cut your fat quarters out to create that one. I love this one. It's another rainbow effect one, isn't it? It's called Strip of Tricks.
That would work with the
that would so
colours,
work with it.
Yeah.
You'd have to have your cream. Oh, I'd be tempted to use the green as that bit there.
Yeah. That's really pretty.
This book is just gorgeous. $15.95. There's the one we've done. That one could so easily be done, couldn't it? Because you could just cut them out of all the different half circles out, the different colours. There you go. It's telling you exactly how to do it again.
Okay, so for $15.95, fantastic book. Jane, thank you ever so much.
Oh, Lorraine, love the rainbow design. Just my colours. My big cutting mat and rotating mat are both a must. When are you in next?
I can't remember. It's towards the end of September.
Towards the end of September,
Yeah,
brilliant.
'cause
All
I'm-
right, thank you ever so much. I'm going to go and do a roundup of, and we'll see at the end of September. Right, so now I've only got... I'll just show you the bundles quickly then. So there's the 2 bundles here plus the one that we used to make that one. So I think this one, Zen Chic, very, very popular. You need to check out your baskets. You do need to check out your baskets. You get the 3.5 metres of magenta. You get the 1.5 metres of the vanilla and 0.5 metre of turquoise, the claret thread, and then all those beautiful fat quarters there. You get 12 fat quarters in there. This by Moda. It's that lovely range by Moda, 100% cotton. It's lovely the way they've ribboned it up, isn't it? Really love the way they've ribboned it up. 12 fat quarters in there, £77 and 45 pence. That's very, very, very limited. You must check out your basket. If you definitely want that, please check out your baskets. The other colourway that I can show you here, this one's Kate Spain. This is Kate Spain. This is called Rainbow's End. Again, you get 3.5 metres of the grass green. You get 1.5 metres of the optical white and 0.5 metre of the... You see, now they call this magenta, don't they? Whereas magenta to me was more that colour we showed you earlier. You get the 12 fat quarters for £77 and 45 pence. And then there's the other one, the one that I'm pointing, you can see the still, the one that Jane had made there, that one, that fat quarter was called Bonnie and Crystal, no, Camille. How can I forget that? My favourite film, now Voyager, Camille Beauchamp. That's called the sorbet. So again, you get the same backing as I had in the last one, the grass green, the optical white, and the pink. But then you also get the other fat quarter with the green thread there. Now, in the last hour, we had the most incredible offer for overlockers, right? I'll just quickly tell you about them. An overlocker here, the overlocker is normally cost £449. Today, we've done a little deal. It's still £449, but you get £31.80 worth of thread. You can go for 2 colourways in the thread. You can have the grey one there, 4 grey threads, 4,000 metres of the thread, BUGC 77. Or if you want blue threads, there you go, JYGC 77. Are they the same number or just 2 different numbers? Okay. They're both 77, so aren't they? That's what's throwing me. £31.80 extra. You save £31.80. You still pay £449 for the overlocker. We did do the threads as well. If you want the threads as well. Remember, in the overlocker, it's a fantastic machine. I've got a still to show you about the overlocker, apparently. There it is. It's lovely, isn't it? Like all Elna products, really, really well. Get your little accessory box, the waste tray. Okay, so the threads. You could buy the threads. If you've already got your overlocker and you want to just buy some threads, these are fantastic value. Navy. Now, the navy and the grey are both very limited in stock. Oh, once everyone's checked out, there's only 2 of those left. If you want that, either check out your basket straight away or there's only 2 left if you don't. Oh, now the black, you can have navy or the black. Black, unsurprisingly, is the most popular. Oh, black search to be overtaken, actually, as I said that. So you get 4,000 metres of the black thread there, overlocking thread. £31.80. Now, the grey, which is also very, very limited. There's the 4 reels of grey overlocking thread. You can tell Amanda's in the building, can't you? £31.80. That's the best one for blending. Everyone, whenever they want to cough or they sneeze, Richard does the same. He goes behind the curtain and does it, and it's like, it's a curtain. And the white, you can get the white. This is now the most popular, the white. All right? 4 whites. £31.80 for the overlocking thread. Much, much finer, isn't it? Much finer. Now, remember, don't forget, it's one poster packaging for the whole day, no matter how many items you buy. Even if you buy an overlocker, even though that comes straight from Elna to you, it'll still only be £2.95 for the whole day. Now, don't go anywhere, because Amanda's up next, and she's got the most incredible tote bag. I just saw it. Did I not just see it come in? Obviously, she's gone out with it again. I've got a picture of it. I've got a picture of it, right? She came in, but the bag didn't come in. I'm not calling her an old bag, don't worry. She's just looked at me as if like, look, isn't that lovely? So we've got a brilliant bundle, 3 brilliant bundles coming up. Don't go anywhere. We will see you in 3 minutes from now with the bundles and the bag and Amanda and the cough and the germs. See you then.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom-cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step.
The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com.
What do you get when you cross a quilting genius with a superb Swiss-designed quilting machine? Tune in on Sunday the 17th of September and you'll find out. Over 2 shows, Joy will demonstrate a wide range of quilting techniques and sewing secrets. She'll start with a machine quilting masterclass in which she'll explore all the fantastic features of the Elna 730X quilting machine. Then, she'll go on to make a traditional quilt block, featuring sashing and cornerstones using some fabulous textured solids. Whether you're a seasoned quilter or just starting out, these shows are bound to help you improve your skills, gain new ideas, and expand your fabric stash. So, don't miss Joy's quilting tips and tricks on Sunday the 17th of September at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Look at this. Now, you can feel it, can't you? It's that lovely. Now, it's not real leather. Before you get excited, overexcited or upset or anything like that, it's not real leather. But it is the most incredible, I call it pleather or pleatherer. It's called PU something here. It's got an official name to it. But in my day, you called this pleather. It's like fake leather, but it's one of the best fake leather. It's like faux fur, isn't it? When I first started working, faux fur, you could so tell it was faux fur. Now it's just exquisite, isn't it? What a lovely big bag this is. And this one as well. Anyway, I've got 3 bundles. I've got 3 bundles to show you here. So that one there that the Amanda's already made, it's the pink PU. It's pink and grey tote bag kit. You get 3.5 meters of fabric and the instructions and the thread, right?
There we go. So you get a metre of the pink PU, a metre and a half of the glacier grey, which is the lining fabric, half a metre of cheeky pink spot on, and half a metre of silver spot on, and the thread. Now, it says there, instructions. It's way more than instructions. Look. It's a little booklet. There's loads of bags in it. And loads of instructions. You get that in it as well. £49.45. OK, I'll go through the book more with you afterwards. Then we've also... So, now, be careful. Which one's the more limited? This one, the blue one. This is mega limited. They're not my words. So you get a metre of the blue PU pleatherette. You get... now, that must be the lining. So you get a lot of the raspberry spot lining. Metre and a half of the raspberry. Half a metre of the fuchsia. Half a metre of the marine blue. And the thread and the booklet. £49.95. It's more than a booklet. It's not instructions. It's a booklet. It's even got... I'll go through it afterwards. It's got everything. Now, this is the one. This is Paul's favourite. This is Paul's favourite. He adores this one. This is a K facet fabric, this one. Look. Isn't that nice? Tote bag. Now, I'll just warn you, you'll get a completely different look using this fabric. Because the other two, the main fabric is a pleather, like a PU fabric. This is a very, very fine cotton, almost like a lawn. So it will give you a completely different finish. The thing is, you have to make this bag. You can make one of the other bags out of it, couldn't you, if you want to? So you get a metre and a half of that. No, a metre of that. a metre of that. Then you get a metre and a half of the... Now, I don't know which one you get a metre and a half of in this one. What's the lining one for this one, then? Blue sea. Half metre pumpkin. Half metre of baby blue. Thread and the booklet. All for £47.45. I'll just show you this fabric again because it is exquisite. You get a metre of that. So even if you don't want to make the bag out of it, then you could use that really, really beautiful bundle of fabric there for any other projects. Right, let's go and get on because there's lots to do. Right, so let's just put this up. Difficult or easy? How are you, first of all? I saw you struggling then. Difficult...
Struggling with
the sippy cup. Oh, they're ridiculous, aren't they? Easy or difficult to make?
Oh, super easy.
Super easy, right?
Super easy.
Mega easy. What page is it on? Let's have a quick look.
29.
There's loads. There's so many bags in here. Messenger bag, tote bag, bring your own bag. Is that like to go to the supermarket? The big shopper, this one's called.
Yeah, the big shopper. That was the one.
OK, I'm just looking at the others there. Right, so this is what this is the one. This is it. There you go. And then all the instructions you need, everything you need here. Mind you, you have gone slightly, unsurprisingly, off-piste with this one, haven't you?
Well, I did phone in or message in just when I had my bundles come to sort of put it together. And obviously on the picture it was all stripy.
Yes.
And I was like, well, is that how you want it? And they said, no, go with it, go.
So it's the same pattern, you've just slightly adapted the pattern.
Yeah.
To give us an idea of how to do something different.
That's right. And I just sort of thought that the pleather, the PU, was just so beautiful.
Oh, yes.
I didn't really want to cut it into stripes.
No.
So I just felt that one lent itself really nicely to sort of see the whole lot.
Yes.
Obviously, there was the applique, and it was kind of like, well, you can put that on if you want to, so I've just gone for sort of like layered up. Little bits with the contrast and just use pinking shears around the grey spots.
Yes, and you don't need to worry about the edge of the pleather, do you? Because it you can cut that without it
just gives it a little bit of fussiness.
OK, so...
So, yeah, so all the dimensions are in the booklet.
Yes.
I just had mine on a photocopy sheet.
OK.
So it's 23 inches wide, OK?
Right. Is that what the finished things or your panels are?
The panel is 23 inches wide, so it's going to come out around about 22 and a half or sort of 22 inches if you use slightly larger seam allowance. OK? And then the depth of it was, if I'm on it. I think it was, so that was like 6 foot. It was about 20 odd inches.
It's
down.
it's a big, deep bag, isn't it?
It's huge.
Right.
So I thought then I'd go with a little bit of difference with this one, and we've got the sort of like in the bundles, the two different ones.
Yes.
So the metre and a half one, or the metre one, is for the lining.
Yes.
Okay, so cut those ones out, and then just played around.
So you had little bits left over to do trims and everything.
And the handles as well. Okay, so cut out, and so I just divided the sections up. It's a top 5-inch panel with a 1.5-inch border.
Right.
So once you put your seam allowances in, you get a 1-inch border
Yes.
through. Then it gives you all the cutouts as well for the box pleat bottoms. So I've gone with a 3-inch box pleat. And so when I sort of like divided it through, and I knew that
you'd lose
that bit would go underneath, and I wanted a bit of the blue border. And then I thought, well, I'll just go with a little bit of quilting. Same as I don't do an awful lot of quilting.
No,
exactly. Which probably shows a little bit.
Can I just point out, we're just finding out, because last time we did a show together with this PU, the kit sold out, and we then sold the PU on its own. We're just finding out if the 3 main fabrics are available. Oh, hang on. Right, hang on a sec. Right, if everyone checks out now, there's only 2 of the blue bundle left. However, we can sell the blue plethora by itself, which we'll do in a second. I'll do it in a second for you. Right.
And it's lovely to work with.
Yes, I want to talk about it properly.
Yeah, when it came through, I was like, oh, I get to like play with it.
Yeah, because last time we did it together, we were both like, before you got the fabric, it's like, oh, I've got pleatherettes and stuff. Anyway, when it arrived, we were both amazed that it does feel like a gorgeous, gorgeous leather, doesn't it?
Really soft and buttery, and yeah.
There's one left of these now. Check out your baskets. Right.
Okay, so I've done my little patchwork. So these were 4.5-inch squares.
Yeah.
Because of the width of it, it was like, well, okay, it's not going to be quite add up. I couldn't quite divide it. So they've ended up at 4.5, and then we'll just sort of trim down. Okay, but because they're going to then...
Well, they're going to go around the core. Will they go around... Oh, no, they'll join there. Oh, they'll join. So it'll be fine.
So that'll be absolutely not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've done my top piece. And
so if we just explain, that's one side of the bag, of the outside of the bag.
Yeah.
This is the other side that matches that, is it?
That's
this one here. That over there is your lining, which we'll come to in a minute. Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to create another one of these now out of this.
That's right.
Brilliant.
So we've got your 5-inch border strip and your 1.5-inch border strip that's been put together. And then, as I say, because these were a little bit wider, it's just literally find the centre point by folding it in half. And then we can just place that. I've lost my centre point now.
So would you put that on before you quilted your squares?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what I've done, on this one, I just put a soft polywadding in.
Yeah.
And there's some interfacing into it. With this one,
we've got this, haven't we?
The foam.
Do you need to cut it in a certain direction? As I noticed that the PU stretches more in one way than it does the other.
I've cut it all cross grain, and yeah, it does. It has got a little bit of a stretch to it. But once you've stabilised it with some, you can stabilise it with a bit of interfacing.
You've got to remember, it's extra wide. It's extra wide. It's 60 inches wide. The backing, it's got like a woven backing to it. You see, but the front feels like... Do you know what? This feels like... Think of a big design. And I know this is Shop Italian and people talk a load of old baloney sometimes, but that is... You know that it's not real leather, but it has... In my day, plethora was like plastic, really, vinyl-y. This has got a lot... It almost feels like it's breathable. It's a really, really lovely, lovely soft... $6.25 it is for half a metre. But this is obviously what you get. This is the metre that you get in the bundle. But it was... Now, what was that Julianne said? It's got stretch that way.
It has got some give.
Oh, you're right. And it doesn't have...
Yeah.
It doesn't...
Yeah.
It doesn't have stretch going this way at all.
No.
So when you said you...
I cut it sort of on grain.
Like
so,
that?
Yeah, so it has got some movement, but you can cut it that way. It doesn't matter.
It's up to you. And also, when in a metre of it, look at the width of it. 60 inches wide, right?
There's lots.
There's lots and lots you can get there. That's the pink one. It also comes in the blue. We can sell it in the blue as well.
Yeah, I think when we had it before, there was all three, and I did one with the tan, didn't I?
Okay. This, yes, we had the pink, the blue, there's a green and
I've seen the green.
as well. The blue kit has sold out, so I'll leave the blue pleatherer out, but the kit has sold out. The kit has sold out, so I'll leave that out. And that goes there. This is the blue pleather. I'll just show you the blue pleather on its own.
Am I okay to just stitch this seam then, John?
Do what?
Am I okay to stitch this seam?
Yeah, you stitch and then I'll come back over to you, sorry. Anyway, that's the blue pleather. It's lovely. It's a lovely feel to it. So now we're doing those two fabrics. What about the K fabric? Yeah, go on. While I'm here, let's do the K fabric. Now that you can now only buy that by the half metre. It's not available in the kit in the bundle anymore. It's sold out in the bundle. Now this is the cape. Now I wouldn't wear this cape. It's far too posh a cape to wear as a cape. One job. Now, it's a very, very fine cotton, this one. Blouse, weight, that kind of... It's beautiful. Sarong for a holiday. It's only £6.95 half a metre. That's good. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a K facet. It's called Orange Embroidered. There's no embroidery on it. That's just the name of it. OK? Lovely. Right, we'll bring the graphics in for the pink pleather now, because kit now. Kit. Now, we'll get to that iron-on thing in a minute, because I don't know what that is.
OK.
So you're just creating now the actual shape of the bags. This is the top, the stripe, and we're going to put on the
base.
The bottom, the base.
Yeah.
It's all about the base, isn't it?
The base.
Oh.
There we go.
Right. Now, people are going to ask, is it easy to work with?
Very.
And do you need to use a leather needle?
No.
Do you just use a normal needle?
Just normal needle, yeah.
Haley's also saying.
Foot as well.
And a normal foot. Oh, OK.
Yeah, I didn't... you can use your walking foot if you've got, but I haven't.
OK. You haven't got or you haven't used?
I haven't used.
No. Haley's also saying it's showerproof as well. But when she says showerproof, don't have a shower in it. But also, I think when you stitch it, that'll let moisture through as well. But for the bag, it's good for the bag. We should test it, shouldn't we? We should have got Timothy to walk across in it and all throw water at it and at him and see how it goes through.
I will say, when you're using like your normal foot, it can drag a little bit.
Right.
So when you are stitching, it stitches absolutely fine from the underneath bits. So I've always tended to sort of stitch with the cotton on top.
So if you've got the pleather on the bottom, it'll drag. But if you...
No, if you've got the pleather on the top, it drags a little bit.
Oh, OK.
Which is where, like, your walking foot would come into it.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Ooh. There we go.
Is it all right?
I reckon the bobbin's running out. No, I think we're OK.
Oh, no. My bobbin might have run out.
No, we're OK.
No, all right. Back in business.
You just always know when something's not quite right.
No, your bobbin's run out.
That's it?
Oh, no swearing on telly, please. Shouldn't. I'm just pre-warning her.
Yeah, bobbin's run out.
Right. I'll just go over and do the bundles. Oh, no, I'm going to take this with me as well. What's the matter? Right. The blue pleatherer you can only buy by the half metre. Now, this is obviously a metre. It's beautiful, isn't it? 50% viscose, 50% polyurethane. Leather it's not leather. It's not leather. Leather textured fabric, half metre, £6.25. Remember, it is... There you can see the... I don't know what you call that, the wrinkle.
Like a grain in it.
Yeah, but is it a grain?
Yeah, like you say, it's sort of like a self-embossed...
Yes,
sort of...
embossed. OK, so that's... the kits are sold out now. You can only buy that by the half metre. Something just fell off the table. This is the pink pleather bag kit. So you get the baby pink spot, the silver spot, the mercury grey as the lining, and the pink pleather.
and the booklet, and the thread. See it? I haven't lost it. See it? Don't know why you're saying that. No, there it is. And the booklet. Oh, and then the pink pleatherette. Oh, pleatherette. Piggy. This is very, very popular. Again, if you want to buy this by the ½ metre, so wide. It's 6 inches wide. Hang on. Look. I don't think the pink would work as a cape. Do you? It's not quite as dramatic, is it? You can see a miniskirt, though. £6.25 for ½ metre. Sometimes I wonder how I put up with this place, Timothy. Then there's the Cafe embroidered, orange embroidered flag. It's not embroidered, it's just a print, but it's gorgeous. The print by itself, you can buy by the ½ metre if you want to. It's nice, isn't it? What would you make out of that? It's very... What would you make out of that?
Yeah, it'd be a shame to sort of... I mean, it would be beautiful in the bag, but really use the borders to their advantage.
Yeah.
But yeah...
I just think it's going to make a very different bag, isn't it? Because this is very lightweight compared to the pleather, isn't it? So she's coming over.
Coming over, I'm going to have a walk. Yeah, it would definitely need sort of stabilising or using the foam to give it some body to it.
So that's the fabric by the ½ metre, but we've also got the bundle where you get that, and you get the blue and the baby blue and the pumpkin and the thread and the instructions booklet. It's a bit of a mess, this table now, isn't it? £47.45. Right, let's go back now. Now the bobbin's filled.
Yep, so we're all attached. So I've just trimmed up the additional excess
talk
of
to me
those.
about this. Is this? This is the... It's like... it's not the iron-on interfacing.
No, it's a foam. It's a wadded foam.
Yes. It comes like this. Yours won't be branded or anything like that. It just comes in like this Snappy's cling film. But I'm going to take it out. I'll take it out of the bag. Because
It's lovely. It's really spongy.
It's really, really kind of...
Ah, no, that's your fusible. That's slightly
hang
different
on.
to mine, then.
I haven't got that one, then. Oh, we haven't got that one. This is the wrong item.
So, no, so that is a fusible wadding.
But that's different to yours.
Yeah. Not far off, to be honest. So, on these, you've got the rough side, which is the bonded side, and then it's padded. So, yeah, just literally fuse that to it. And it is OK to use an iron on the underside with that.
Off the pleather, is it? Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
It's been fine.
OK, then.
If ever in doubt, just put a pressing cloth on top. But, yeah, underneath, I've pressed all the seams, and they're absolutely fine.
So you get a metre of that for £9.95.
OK.
OK, right, moving on.
OK. So, as I say, in this one, I'd used an interfacing.
Which is this?
That one, yeah. And then just the poly wadding.
Right.
OK. And then I decided, because I was going to do the quilting, I wanted just the slightly thicker fuse. So to keep this one... Now, obviously, that is fusible, so you wouldn't need to.
Yes.
So I've just got the repositional spray.
Open the window. Are you going to use it?
Am I all right to?
Well, you'll have to now. Let me just whack out a whack
That's what I was asking you earlier. Am I all right to use this on set?
Oh, I thought you said, can I use this as in sell it? I'm thinking of the air conditioning in this one.
So if I didn't...
Always use this in an open space. Or with a wafter.
There we go.
Oh! There we go. Yeah. Oh. Right.
OK.
Right, off you go, then. Oh, I can't smell it, can you, Amy? Oh, Amy's just passed out. I'm joking.
I told you not to make me laugh. I'm going to choke.
Oh, sorry. Well, I don't think it's me that's making you choke somehow.
There we go. So once it's positioned into place...
That's brilliant, though, isn't it? Now, that's a repositional spray we used there. Oh.
There, we're off again. There we go.
She did that on purpose.
Stick to it. Okay, so you can like you can choose whichever sort of quilting effect that you want to go with. So I just sort of like went round each square.
But you could do anything you wanted, really.
Yeah.
It actually looks nice. Once you've got that mounted on there, it actually looks quite nice, doesn't it? Without the quilting.
Without the quilting, it works really well.
Okay.
So I can crack on with that in a wee while. If we then talk through the lining.
Now that's very busy on the eyes.
Okay. So this one is the old I've done before.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just a bag through lining. Okay. So you've got your big squares with your 3-inch.
So is this the same shape as that?
Yeah. Okay. So that's like your full ends.
But you've put these.
And then you've got a panel.
You can do one on that side, too.
Okay.
Boom.
So then you've got a panel which is 12 inches in depth.
Right. Folded in half.
Folded in half with some interfacing. And then again, the instructions tell you where to position it from the top.
Right.
Dependent on which size bag that you're doing. Because it gives you sizes for different sizes.
So if you didn't want a bag this big, it's got the sizes.
Brilliant. You can go, but because I was given the fabric and I was like, well, let's go for the big one.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm saying nothing.
And so you're just literally stitching that along that line, 1/4 of an inch, fold it up, okay?
Yeah.
And we've pressed that through. And then you do your stitch lines, your sections. So it gives you the different sections in the book, but obviously you can...
But it depends what if you're using as a baby changing bag, you want to put the one that's big enough for nappies, one that's big, change your clothes and
whatever
things like that.
you fancy through with those. So that on.
What are you looking for now?
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So if my memory serves me right, it was a 2.5, then a 9-inch, a 4.5, a 4.5, and a 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Blimey.
So
it was well remembered.
It was really, actually. See, I'm a bit woolly-headed at the moment. So using our grid.
That spray. Do you use that spray indoors at home?
Yeah, the studio's quite big, so.
Oh, well. Well, I imagine it's mostly got a window, is it?
Yeah, we've got ventilation that's going through, so...
We haven't.
Okay, so that's 1/9. So I can mark through.
We're using the trio pen here that we saw earlier, which has got the grey, the black, and the... I've got one here.
I love these pens.
They're brilliant, aren't they? It's like a retractable pencil. You can either use the white lead, the black lead, or it's got like a ballpoint finish, which hasn't got anything on it, but you can use it with tracing, the carbon tracing paper.
It's just that you get such a good sharp line with it.
Yeah. OK, 10.95 that is. Put that back in the front.
So I'm marked into position, and then we can then stitch through those with a little bit of reverse stitching.
At the top.
At the top. I always start from the base and work up, just in case you get any movement and you'll end up with a...
Yes, if you go that way, you'll end up with a pucker at the bottom. If you go that way, it'll feed down.
It'll smooth out.
While you're stitching that, I need to tell you that you're going absolutely crazy for the blue pleather. Not the kit, because that's sold out, but the blue pleather by the 1/2 metre. Going absolutely crazy for it, so please check out your baskets. $6.25, wasn't it, for 1/2 metre? $6.25 for 1/2 metre. And it's very wide, remember? It's 60 inches wide. Lots of people multi-buying. Wonder what you're making out of it. Cape, obviously. Maybe.
It is so versatile.
Mini skirt? Oh, no, you wouldn't need multiple for mini skirts, would you? Oh, no, hang on. Maybe use it to waft away glue smells that your neighbours wafted all over the place. Halloween.
It's like a Dracula cake.
It's lovely. Look at it. That's a metre. That's a metre, but it's extra wide. Look, 60 inches wide. It's good quality. Really, really good quality. The blue is lovely. Thank you. I'll put it back.
Here we go. So that's all the pockets
Excellent.
created through. And then to put the lining together, it's right sides together. And we stitch down each side, across the bottom, leaving an opening.
Yeah.
And then we'll do
don't make the mistake I made and carry on all the way round there.
Yeah,
which of my mistakes exactly? Thank you, Michael.
It's surprising how many people do that. Even
Automatic.
When you say, don't go round the boxes. It's like they get so carried away.
Is it raining outside? Is it a horrible day again today?
It was so dark this morning coming in.
Oh, no, that's what we were saying. It was the first morning where it's proper pitch dark this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, when the alarm went off at 4:30 this morning, it was like...
Oh, luxury.
What time do you get up?
My alarm clock goes off at 4. But I woke up so many times last night. I was so cold last night.
Yeah, it is getting to that point where you're sort of going, I'm holding out, I'm not putting the heating on yet.
Oh, no, I've learned that you put weight on if you keep the heating on. So the heating's not going on this winter. It's going to be like the war years in my house.
How's that one work then?
So now apparently your body uses up more calories trying to keep warm.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't help. I wear shorts and T-shirts all year round at home, so I'm going to put some proper clothes on. I suppose if I made myself a lovely big blue cape, it would keep me nice and warm. Might be a bit sweaty. Oh, that's why people are multiple buying. Pyjamas, leather pyjamas. Ooh, no. Hannah could have one of her all-in-one jumpsuits. What's she made out of it? Dungarees be nice.
Some lederhosen.
Yeah. But they're short, aren't they, lederhosen? I'm trying to keep warm. Oh, hang on, they're going crazy upstairs. What's Michael wearing now? A three-piece suit made of pleather. He couldn't carry that off, could he?
You could do ties, I suppose.
What?
A tie.
Oh, a tie. Some people just wear a tie, nothing else, don't they, in photo shoots? Only because of that picture.
It would be quite good. You could use it for sort of pet coats as well, if it's showerproof.
Oh, showerproof pet coat. That'd be brilliant. Natasha could take her dogs out in it. Yeah, little Paul doesn't need it for that. I can tell you what, I can tell you if you want me to tell you, but Paul will go mad if I tell you. No, because his mum's watching, we don't want to. We do a flesh-toned one. We do a flesh-toned one. Yeah? I say flesh-toned, it's not. It's sort of this colour. So it depends on your flesh, doesn't it? Because little Paul's... This is flesh colour on little Paul. Apart from when he...
OK, so
right.
I've put the lining together. OK.
Yeah.
And then we've just got...
Jazz hands.
And then that's the one to turn the
we
whole
had a
bag
picture.
through.
We were asking for pet pictures yesterday because we were doing a dachshund, and somebody sent in this picture. It was brilliant, right? It was a little outfit their dachshund was wearing, but it was one of those. He was obviously standing like this, but it looked like he was doing this. So he had like jazz hands and a jumper on and everything. It was fantastic. So now we're doing the boxed bottom.
So so you literally bring in the side seam through to be adjacent with the bottom seam.
Yeah.
OK, so it's just...
Ooh.
Whoops.
There we go.
There we go. So you pull open the box like a bag of crisps. Okay.
Oh, don't.
And then the side seam then matches in with
what
the bottom
bag
seam.
Of crisps?
Oh, definitely ready salted. I just love,
Salt and vinegar for Ginger Mike and for you. Oh, I hate salt and vinegar crisps.
I'm partial to Worcester sauce.
What?
Worcester sauce flavoured crisps.
Oh, no. I like cheese and onion, me.
It's horrible, because your breath smells of it afterwards, and you can't talk to anyone, can you? Anyway, doing our boxed off bottoms.
So always remember then to reverse stitch both ends. Otherwise you'll be losing your goodies out the bottom of your bag.
Yeah. Your crisps, when you buy your crisps from the supermarket. I do like a quaver, though. No, I'm supposed to have those.
This one. So the seam allowances for this is a 1/4 of an inch. However, it's so big, and I did find, I think, really, we're working with the pleatherer, I just felt a little bit happier going with a centimetre.
Oh, OK.
And just that extra losing that extra 1/4 inch really doesn't make
much
much difference.
But if you use the same seam allowance all the way around, it'll still all fit together properly.
Yeah.
It's not going to be... It's not like clothes where you can't suddenly take a different seam allowance.
OK, so then that's our lining. OK.
Right?
Yours?
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, it will be going that way.
Oh, well.
All right. So we'd then quilt to our heart's desire on those.
Yes.
Do you want me to sort of go through that quilting, or do you want me just to sort of
No,
put the bag together?
because we all know you've just done a
just literally
thing
around.
I'd like to see more construction. Yeah, that's all right with
That's
you.
not a problem. OK. So the bag goes together exactly the same as the lining.
So can I just reply to this? Janet says, if I order 2.5 metres of the pleather stuff, would it come as one piece? Yes, Janet, it will. It's only when you order bundles. You know, when we do bundles of fabric, as in 1/2 metre of this, 1/2 metre of that, 1/2 metre of this, they don't get joined together. Maureen, when ordering more than 1/2 metre, does it come in one piece? Yes, it does, Maureen. It's like I was just saying. Remember yesterday I had the rainbow bundle of, I had 3 fabrics, 1/2 metre each. They're already cut. That's what doesn't come joined together. If you can order as much as you want of the pleather, it will come in one piece. The only thing I'll say is if you want more than 1.5 metres, you do have to ring. It's nearly sorted, I'm being told. But, yes, it does come in one piece. And it comes in a box as well. Right, sorry, Amanda.
That's fine. So, as I say, it goes together just the same as the lining did.
Looks thick now with that iron on. Oh, you haven't ironed yours on with the spray.
It is thick. And again, that's where it's a bit easier if you're using a centimetre seam allowance, because otherwise it sometimes falls off.
And it goes through your machine all right?
Yeah, no problem. Again, it's just trying to line up where your stripes are.
Yeah, oh yes, of course. Yeah, because if you did it like this, you wouldn't need to worry, because you've only got that stripe to match up, haven't you? Where you've made your life more difficult by doing the whole quilted section.
Okay.
And again, if you don't want to quilt that middle section, you don't have to, because it looks nice just as a
solid
patchwork, doesn't it? Yeah,
it looks nice as the patchwork. As I say, in the picture, it's kind of like the strips as well that you can do. I think they were suggesting 2.5-inch strips.
Yeah.
I'm just lining these up. So what I tend to do when I'm trying to really line things up is I'll just baste across sort of like the key areas, double check, because it's far easier just to whip out a little bit of basting.
Oh, yes, because if you stitch the whole lot and then it's wrong...
Just like, OK, so I will stitch along the bottom, though.
OK.
Because it's so much thicker, increase your stitch length a little bit, just
so
it'll take up bins.
Oh, yeah, you're going through that. I thought the machine would go... Ooh.
No.
Now, in your seam allowances, do you cut away anything afterwards, or do you just leave, because it's a bag, you just leave it all there?
I just leave them because it's a bag. And the nice thing about sort of the fusibles as well, I'll probably show you on this side, you can join them really well. I was a bit short on this piece.
Right.
I think this was like left over from one of the other projects, that's why I was like using them. And so just literally butting them up together, whether you can sort of see through here, I've just literally butted them up together and just gone over with a zigzag.
Oh, to make the piece bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have got oddments, you can sort of like piece them together and then cut out your whole shape, and it won't make any difference.
No, of course
So
not.
it's like never chuck out any of your
scraps.
Your offcuts.
Your
offcuts. Keep everything.
That beats at you then.
Yeah, I'm just taking up the stitch length again because I want to go through these sides and just double check, otherwise the seam ripper's coming out.
It was here a minute ago. Oh, that was the last
Yeah, the seam ripper's in my tray.
No, I think you need it. He hopes. Touching wood.
We all have to, you know...
Crosses to bear.
Yeah, use a seam ripper now and again. It's...
Oh, gosh, yeah. When I was doing it full-time, mine was out constantly.
So, yeah. Yeah, people sort of go, oh, God, you never seem to, you know, have to undo anything. And it's
so
like,
now, which bit are you doing now?
This is the side, so I've just literally... Yeah, so this is the side of the bag.
Yes.
The bottom I've gone straight the way across because I haven't got to bother worry about the turning out. I've just literally basted across...
Oh, to make sure.
Just to sort of see.
You've got your strap.
I think we're just about.
So it's tacking. It's like tacking. I wonder where you were going with that one. That was all.
No, just sort of tacking it through.
Yeah.
Just making sure that it was going to be somewhere
near.
Yeah,
because then once it's tacked in, it's not going to move, is it, at all? We haven't heard from Simon today, have we? Normally from Simon when you're on. Simon is Amanda's business partner. You're too busy.
He is getting the studio ready.
Yeah.
It's like Sistine Chapel painting the new place.
It's always much bigger than you think when you start, I'll have this done in a day.
Yeah, it's, as I say, we've like knocked through, but it's still sort of like boarded up into the old shop.
Oh, OK.
So, yesterday I was helping doing ceilings and...
Once you run down...
Patching things up as well and...
Just drape some fabric over it.
OK, that should be... Just double-check that one. Yep, we're in business.
Oh, have you not got it yet, Paul? Well, it's been the weekend, that's why. Yeah, but we haven't had a delivery. So you're just running down to the end on that one, aren't you?
Yeah. So again, bit of reverse stitch.
How long, if you sat down to make this bag, is it an afternoon's project? Is it a day's project? Is it one you pick up and put down?
I would say you could get it done, dependent which sort of version that you're doing. I always think with a bag, it's the cutting out that takes...
Yes, yeah.
The longest.
Oh yes, and also you're not getting a pattern that you can just lay on the pattern. You actually got to draw it out on your fabric.
Sizes and yeah. So it's just sort of like once you've decided what design you're going to go with. I mean, there's not too many pieces to it at all. This one's not bad, not like some of the ones that I've had.
Yes, exactly.
I've just been given my next project.
Is it a bag?
It's a bag. And a blouse, so I've just cut one of the blouse out because it's...
When are you next then?
Sunday.
Oh. Is that me? Oh, it's not me. I'm not in on Sunday.
No. So I've got...
No, I'm doing the Chipping Camden Lady Quilters on Saturday.
Ooh.
And we've got our village produce and floral show at the weekend as well. So, anyway, bottom...
So we're going to do the same again.
Yeah.
So the side seam comes to the bottom seam. So you can open these out just to reduce a little bit of bulk. Match those through.
Now it's getting very...
It will cope.
It's what?
It will cope with it.
Oh, yeah.
It will cope with it.
I was going to say, it looks like one of those jackets you wear when you're doing fencing. Yeah. Doesn't it? We did fencing at school. Yeah, fencing. Horse riding. Canoeing, hated that. It's a long time ago. No. I was at school, grammar school in... No, we didn't do duelling. Fencing.
You mean putting up fencing?
No, not putting up... Oh, God, I'd be rubbish at that.
I had this man come and put new fences up in my garden, right? And it looked amazing, right? And then it started getting really windy, and it was rocking all over the place. I got someone else in. He'd only put concrete round 3 sides. He hadn't put concrete around the 4th side. So I had to have it reach. Not happy. Yes, indeed, indeed. Michael. Didn't you do fencing at school, then? There you go. See, Michael did fencing at school. What did you do as your sport at school? Netball? Lacrosse?
No. And I went to a grammar school. We certainly didn't do stuff like that. There's definitely not horse riding.
Horse riding was Wednesday afternoon. You could choose horse riding, cookery, metalwork, woodwork. So for the whole afternoon. Canoeing. I only went once to canoeing. I used to get wedged in the little hole in the canoe. And then they make you do that. They just put you in the water. They just put straight to the River Dee. We didn't go to the swimming pool first to practice. We just went there. And the tapetes just flipped all the canoes over. And you had to try and... I didn't go again. It was called Mr. Salt.
It's cross-country. Oh,
well, no, cross-country was part of PE. You had to do that. That wasn't a choice.
But it's amazing that you always used to have to do when it was raining, snowing, wind, and yet your PE teacher would have the sheepskin coat on and a cup of coffee going, oh, you'll be fine, girls, crack on.
Don't think we even saw our PE teacher. She just set us off and waited at the end for us. Right.
OK, so...
Hello. It's huge, this bag.
There we go. So with using this heavier foam, it obviously supports itself, whereas this one is, so much softer.
And if you use the K fabric, again, that will be the softer, more...
really soft. But if you was to use this with it, it will sort of support it through. OK, so, it's like
what would be next, then? Is it handles next?
So handles.
OK, I'll put that away. I've got this. Hang on, I've got this. When's this, then?
OK, so, if you're using the base with the... You can pop those in, and it will give it more of a support, which would have been useful for one of this bag.
Right, OK.
And you just literally cut it to size, and it just lies into the bottom.
Oh. I thought it could be a piece of, like cereal box.
So, no, it's got that pliable, so, you can place it in.
It's saying...
usable.
Cut the stabiliser to size using rotary cutter or ruler and mat or craft scissors. Angle cut the corners to prevent any damage to the fabrics. Then place double-sided tape inside the edges of the stabiliser, remove the protective layer on the tape and apply the wrong side of the fabric. Or you can... hand washing is recommended. Do not iron. Store away from direct sunlight. Keep it... Right, OK, that's interesting. Just said there you can stitch it. Does that mean you can sew it?
Sew
you can sew through that.
Sew it into place,
Wow.
So...
What are you doing?
I did...
No, that's on the sticky tape. You have to buy the sticky tape separately, I think.
Oh, OK.
Right.
But, if you just place that in, like you say, sort of round off the edges...
OK.
OK, and place that into the bottom. You could actually just, sew through your centre seam if you wanted to.
Just to hold it.
Just to hold it into place.
Yeah, because now you're going to put the lining in. You don't want that to then start working its way up the lining and things like that. All right, so, handles?
Handles. OK, so the instructions are use the width of your fabric.
Yes.
OK, 5-inch strip.
Well, actually, no, hang on. The width of the fabric, that's 60 inches wide. That's really a very long strap.
So, I did cut it down.
Yeah.
But on this one, so it was a 5-inch strip for this one. And...
I am listening.
Fold in half and press.
Yeah.
And then, just like you do with bias tape, put the outer edges inwards and then press together.
And you say you can press this?
Yeah. I just put a pressing cloth onto it.
Like a tea towel?
Yeah. And then I was doing these earlier and I sort of pulled it through on the tube and then just ironed onto this. And it's been fine. And then you just, stitch all the way through.
OK.
OK.
More than half the stock of this blue pleather has gone, just to warn you if you want it. Right, and then...
And then you're going to position it into place without twisting
the handles and sewing them in twisted, because who'd do that?
That would be such a silly mistake to do.
Oh, no, it wasn't that one. See, if you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have even noticed. That one. Anyway, so even the experts can do it.
I've not been firing on all cylinders.
No.
That's my excuse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stick it to it, right?
So
would you machine base that in?
So
then?
machine based through there.
Yeah.
Okay. Same on this one.
Oh, with plenty of time, all right. Yeah.
So that's the nice thing about using the patchwork as well. You can just sort of eye it up. Again, in the instructions, it does give you a dimension of where to place.
Well, also, if you've never made a bag before, sometimes you think, oh, it'll be all right there. But actually, when you realise that, you know, like...
If you put them too far out, because you've got these box corners, if you sort of put them too far out, they will be sort of sitting on those edges.
Yes, yeah, want that.
So you're just placing it through.
I think it looks lovely.
Okay. So that's on there.
Okay.
So we'll
base those
into place.
So you're just using a bigger stitch, just to hold them in place, aren't they? So that they're lining in. Looks very that pleather makes it look a very professional finish to it, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, I think you'd be hard pressed to sort of go, oh yeah, no, you know, they were handmade.
Yes.
I think you would quite easily sort of say that you'd bought them.
Yeah.
From a shoop.
From where?
From a shoop.
Oh, should Bobby run out again?
Bobby's run out again.
He can't have run out again,
it
surely.
Has, yeah. Okay, right.
Shall I go through fabrics then while we refill the bobbin?
I'll do another bobbin, sorry. Thought I'd got plenty.
Yeah, just refilling the bobbin. And there was something sharp on the desk, but I've lost you. Oh, go on. Got you now. This, most popular by far. Right, oh my word, it's that popular. If it's in your basket now, it cannot be guaranteed. You need to check out. $6.25 for half a metre. Lots of people... We don't know as well how much you put in your basket until you actually checked out, you see. So if all those people have checked out a metre or a metre and a half, then, or put in a metre and a half, it could run out even quicker. So that's about to go. Yeah, I think you're all making... Paul thinks you're all making a cape now. Right, OK. That's the blue pleather, which I'll put over there. We've got the pink pleather, PU leather. It's lovely, isn't it? The blue, I think, makes a more dramatic statement, though, doesn't it? $6.25 for half a metre. OK. We're all right, we can guarantee at the moment. If you've got that in your basket, we can guarantee. But if you're watching one of the repeats, then I can't guarantee it. But we've also got the bundle to make the bag with the pink pleather. So you get the pink pleather, you get the mercury grey lining, you get the baby pink spot, the silver spot, the thread, and this brilliant booklet with all these bags in. £49.45. It's a big old booklet. It's got loads of books in there. Right, OK, and then last but not least is the CAFE bundle. So the full bundle, first of all, so you get a metre of the fabric. This is lovely, beautiful fabric. I've not seen this before. Was it on with him when he was on? It's lovely, isn't it? I love that fabric. Anyway, so you get a metre of that. And then you've also got the... Oh, I've got to better move on. Then you've also got the pumpkin, the pale blue and the dark blue, and the blue thread, and the booklet. £47.45. If you want that K fabric by itself, $6.95 for half a metre, I think it was. I think that's beautiful. And as Amanda said, use it with the pattern. Use it. If you're going to use it in the bag, use it for the borders. If you're going to use it for something in real life, use those borders. They're beautiful. £6.95. Right, remember to check out your baskets.
There we go.
Right, OK, so the handles are on now.
Yes, handles are on. Bobbins restored.
Right.
OK, so we're now going to keep your lining with the wrong side facing out.
Right, right sides together.
Right sides together, so insert. Said back.
Well, that's going to be
A fine one to try and bag out through that little hole in the bottom, isn't it?
The good birthing moment.
Oh, please.
There we go. So match the side seams.
Yeah.
Again, open out the seam allowance. Just helps to make it a little less bulky.
Yeah.
And I found it's fine using pins as well on this PU.
Does it mark? Does it mark it then?
Not majorly, no.
If you have to
Obviously,
unpick something.
I do try to sort of keep them within the seam allowance, but I have found that if you've got good sharp pins, then no, it's been okay.
Yeah.
And unpick? Me unpick?
Well, no, you unpick, but if I was making it, would it leave a mark if I unpicked it?
Yeah, you would have a little bit of an indentation.
Right. So you're going to sew that round. Oh, God, I've got ages. I was trying to rush you along then, but don't need to rush you.
Okay, so yeah, we will sew around the top of the bag and then turn it.
So I've got about 4
out.
minutes. We've got about 4 minutes left on this side, have we? 3 minutes? How many? 3 minutes left on this side.
Okay.
Is that it then? When you stitch around the top of this,
That's your bag
you just
done.
bag it through,
Bag it through and then seal up here.
Seal up the bagging through hole.
Throw it over your shoulder and off you go.
Go shopping. And it's showerproof, so if you're out there today, okay, we're getting a bit of expert advice from Ginger Mate now. Keep hold of the handles when you throw it over your shoulder, otherwise it'll end up on the floor, he said. Well, he's obviously talking from experience,
yeah.
isn't he?
Okay, then.
He's very lackadaisical like that.
So it doesn't really matter where you start from.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Exactly.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish. Do you know that one as well? Everyone around here, they're all so young, they've got no idea about any of the songs I sing. It's not where you start. Jimmy Durante. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. No? No, it was a joke. That's how he did it. Eric Morecambe and Wise. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. What for? Life? You're right there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of bag to manoeuvre around, but just taking your time, working it through.
Yeah. How are we doing?
Nearly there.
I tell you what, I'll go back over there and I'll start the round up, and when you finished it, bring it over to me. Is that all right?
Am I going walkabout again then?
Yeah. Come with me and you'll see. Right. We'll do the... somebody will see the overlocker instructions first, the details first. We'll do the overlocker first then, very quickly. We had a fabulous overlocker in the... Not the last other one before that. We had a special offer on it. It normally sells for $449. Today, you can get it with 4,000 metres of thread, saving £31.80. You can either have it in the grey, which is BUGC 77, or you can have it in the navy blue. The threads, the machine, not the machine, obviously, the threads. So there's the navy ones there. That's JYGC 77. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant overlocking machine. Been very, very popular. If you have got it in your basket, please make sure you check out limited stock. And remember, it's the same P&P whether you buy an overlocker and everything else. It's all £2.95 a day. OK, now, Fabricos. We've got the pink pleather bundle. So you get the booklet, you get the pink pleatherette, you get the mercury grey, you get the silver spot, and you get the is it cheeky pink or baby pink? Cheeky pink. £49.45 for that bundle. Now, if you want to buy the pink pleatherette by itself, then you can. It's 60 inches wide. It's lovely. Now, it's very subtle, the pink, isn't it? I think that'd make a lovely jacket, really, really lovely jacket.
Graphics coming in. $6.25 for half a metre. That's obviously a metre I'm showing you there, for half a metre, but it is 60 inches wide. Lots of people multi-buying the pleather today. Then my other bundle for the bag is the Cafe bundle, where you get the booklet, the thread, the blue fabric, the pumpkin fabric, the pale blue fabric, and then this... I love this pattern fabric. Look. Isn't it stunning? I think that's gorgeous, isn't it? So the whole bundle is £47.45. But if you want to just buy this fabric on its own, $6.95 for half a metre. $6.95 for half a metre. It's lovely, isn't it? Right, we've got to do the menu for tomorrow. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought you said that. Oh, thank you. There's the finished bag. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome.
That's rather lovely. Throw it over your shoulder and go shopping. Right, what have we got to do tomorrow's menu? It's not me tomorrow, is it Natasha tomorrow, then? 8 o'clock, under £10 collection. What's that? What is it? Oh, after another £10. Who thought of that idea? Little Paul. Bow collar fitted blouse at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, miss it, miss out. He's used all my old catchphrases. Miss it, miss out. And then 11 o'clock, oh, a reversible bag. Is that you in tomorrow? No. Reversible bag. Right, OK, it's Jennifer Mills tomorrow. Now, I thought this, right? If you don't check out your basket, there's not enough to... Now, you told me... Right, there's no opportunities. If everyone checks out now, then it's all gone, and people will be disappointed, right? If you want this, put it in your basket, check out straight away. That's what you need to do. If you've got it in your basket and you check out, cannot guarantee that everyone will get that. So, have a look at the finished bag. Isn't it lovely? Look at the size. Look at the size of that. Huge. That wadding, that iron-on... it's not iron-on wadding. What's it called, Dean? Interfacing, spongy interfacing. Inside is incredible, isn't it? So that's the blue... The kit of this is gone, but the blue pleatherette there is £6.25 for half a metre. OK, now, I'm not in again now till... What day is it today? Tuesday? Monday? I'm off Tuesday, off Wednesday. Thursday and Friday I'm in next. Thursday and Friday. So I'll be seeing you then. It'll be Hannah producing me on those days. Thanks ever so much for your company today. Thank you to Amanda, who's been... Make sure you check out your baskets. That's all I can say. I know you're sick of me saying it, but shh. But please check out your baskets, because there's not enough of that blue pleatherette to go round. Anyway, thanks ever so much for your company. I'll see you on, did I just say Thursday? Thursday and Friday. Enjoy tomorrow, and I'll see you then.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts. Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com.